This episode of The Talking Dads is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus right now. Mention that you heard about Little Scholars through our podcast when you tour and receive $25 off your registration fee.
All right. And I could definitely vouch for Little Scholars. I have a son that goes there. He loves it. He's happy every day to go to school. I got to say, it's a great place. Check it out. At least come take a tour.
Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Talking Dads. I am Steve. This is Ian. And this is Mr. Lewis. Special guest today for episode number 16. Ian, you look a little nervous.
I just want to lay out some ground rules before we start. Dad, happy to have you on the show. Appreciate this. But I definitely want to say that the statute of limitations is expired on anything that we may talk about.
Done.
Deal?
Done.
Okay. All right. Having said that, I'm good.
Rules are there are no rules. Anything goes. Ish.
But no, seriously, when we kind of started this, we'd talked a while ago about, something that we think might be fun or might be interesting. And one of the things was bringing the old man on. I feel like he was a big part of all of our growing up.
I agree.
So there should be some good
We
stories
have some
here.
great stories, but it's probably some things we probably forgot about or didn't realize that we did.
Tried to forget.
Tried to forget.
Maybe
Maybe
good to
maybe,
get perspective.
yeah, from a father's point of view.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, well.
All right, so how we always start, I know you listen and stuff, so dad profile. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about Will.
About Will. I got married at a very young age and had a child at a very young age.
Which is how young?
I was 20 years old when he was born.
Yeah.
Married at 19.
Wow.
Still married 34 years.
Yeah.
To the same person.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Not 30 total, 34 total. It's multiple people. 34 is one. So
That's good stuff.
Ian was born while I was in the Marine Corps in Yuma, Arizona. And his brother came along. We moved back to Ohio 4 years later.
Yeah.
I joined the police department after many years of stupid jobs. Some good jobs. I mean, my bouncing was a good job. That was a fun job.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't remember any of that.
Were you a bouncer?
The old After Dark in Menor.
Okay.
Where was that? What's that currently?
I have no idea.
No. I don't even know where it was.
It was right next to the BMV.
So it's probably like
Have a Nice Day
Have a Nice
Cafe.
Day, and it's like
It was by
Daventino's now.
that sandwich shop that Kyle's
Yeah,
friend owned.
yeah. Roly Poly or
Roly
whatever
Poly,
that was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was Have a Nice Day at one point.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
after our close.
God, that place.
Cool. Yeah. So Kyle came along. What was that, 89?
89. And I got on the police department in 94 or 95,
Yeah.
January 95.
And that's about when we moved to
Galloway.
Galloway, yeah.
In June of '95. We moved there.
And like I knew Steve before that
Because of
baseball and
baseball.
stuff, but for the rest of the crew, that's kind of when I met all them.
yeah, the old neighborhood.
That's when the fun began.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. So, Steve, I think that you should do most of the question asking because
Okay.
I'm not sure where this is going.
It's gonna go somewhere fun, I'm sure.
Before we do anything,
Oh yeah, hey, cheers!
Hey, cheers. Yes.
We
What
are-
are we drinking here?
We are drinking Eagle Rare, one of my favorites.
Good dribbies.
Oh yeah. We actually did our first bourbon review for Eagle Rare,
Yeah.
but we have not done it on the podcast.
No, we
so
have not. So this is good stuff right
It's
here.
one of my favorites. I thought it was appropriate to bust it out for tonight.
Yeah, for sure. So you were saying you got hired as a police officer. That was at Eastlake from the beginning?
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was the case.
yep, went to the academy at Lakeland and got hired.
How old were you then?
20
23, 24?
No, I was
No, he's
25.
27.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fast forward a
20,
little bit.
because I was hired in Eastlake when I was 29.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now you are retired,
5 years.
5 years living in Arizona, loving life,
Loving it.
but still I'm still working though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So,
Yeah, part time.
yeah.
It's good.
Living the life in Arizona. So, I don't even know where to start with this because I'm like nervous to even start with it.
Like very clearly, I am apprehensive about getting into anything.
I kind of want to jump into some things, but I also want to hold back a little
Just
bit.
jump in because
No, you know, I'll ask some simple
You know
questions.
what? At this point of your lives, you boys,
Statute of
you
limitations.
guys are still boys to me,
Yeah.
but you've all grown into very respectful men.
Yeah.
You're good family men. You're just good people. So
Hey, appreciate
anything
that.
you say is, trust me, nothing surprises me. Nothing is going to shock me.
I think it's going to be the
unless-
opposite.
I think it's going to be what
I think
your
that-
point of view of.
I think we're going to be shocked at his point of view. Maybe, I don't know.
So, okay, so let's do this. As a
And I'm going to put out a disclaimer.
Okay.
I understand I was not the most nice father to grow up.
hey,
I was very strict, and I expected a lot. But everyone knew when you were at my house, if you're hungry, you ate. If you're thirsty, you drank.
Yeah.
If we weren't home,
and be
you guys-
respectful of your house.
that's right.
and of
If-
you guys.
If you stepped out of line, I would be more than happy to hit you,
Yeah. Oh,
and
all right.
I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree with that, and we and respected that.
Nobody ever got struck. The one kid with the noodle handshake, and then he said, "Hey, Michelle, see you later," and I grabbed him by the throat. I don't remember who that one was, but
I don't remember that, but
I know who it was. We'll talk offline.
all right, cool. All right, so let's see. So this is the first time we've had, and I'll say this, an older one of our fathers, right? Most of the fathers
Yeah,
have been
no.
young dads,
Yeah. Well, we've certainly never had a grandfather on,
a grandfather too. Yeah,
and that's why you're in town for
a birthday party.
that's right.
So
Gibbs and Sloan's birthday.
yes. So I'm going to say, when you moved into the new neighborhood, and I know the kids that lived in that neighborhood, as a parent moving into a new place with kids, you kind of, I'm trying to think of, scope out everything. You scope out the neighborhood, you start to learn the kids in the neighborhood, kind of weed out the kids you don't like, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah,
I know what you're getting at.
you know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah.
kind of, because these are the kids that they're going to help form your. I mean,
Right.
you do your job as a father
Well, let's put it
to
this
an
way.
extent.
We were living in the Headlands.
Yeah.
we
Till you
had
were in what was
a
95
2-bedroom
is
house? Or was really a 1-bedroom?
3 bedrooms.
Was it?
The upstairs was considered a bedroom, so yeah, it was a very small house.
yeah.
And like, cause I remember me and Kyle shared the upstairs, right? It was like a bungalow or something like
I
that.
think it was considered like a Cape Cod.
Cape
something.
Cod, yeah. So it was like a big upstairs there was no wall in between, but it was like the staircase and there was
separate
two
sides.
separate
Yeah,
sides.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But we had one bathroom.
That was tough.
That was a fun house though. I remember it was like square all the way around the stairs, so we could run around.
Run around?
Yeah.
That's like my mom's house. That was the best
Yeah,
thing because
yeah.
like even with the kids now, my mom still lives in the same house, and the kids just run in that big circle.
Yeah.
and it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but like moving into a neighborhood or just knowing that your kids are going to be learning from other kids in the neighborhood. I mean,
well, I guess number one was that I think whether you have kids or not, when you're looking at purchasing a home, one of the things you look at, school district and the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But like, was that even a big concern? Do you remember?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We wanted it. Mom was she wanted to live by St. John.
Was that was always her church there?
No, she went to
St. Bede's. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a good church that she liked. So, that was nice because it was close. It had sidewalks. It had, I mean, it was a cul-de-sac area, so we weren't worried about, traffic racing, and it was a very nice neighborhood.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's perfect. I mean,
I love that neighborhood.
It was great growing up around there.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent a lot of time over there. You guys had that lot. Was it 2 doors down?
Yeah.
Play sports over there.
Yeah.
Get into some trouble. Not really any trouble, but you know what I mean. All right. I don't know. Do you want to add to that? I mean,
so like you said, it was absolutely a consideration of like, was it more the schools or was it like the whole neighborhood feel? Because like we had a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it was still Menor schools, but it was just
better over there. I feel like maybe
it was a much up.
I mean, it was certainly an upgrade.
Not that the Headlands was bad. The Headlands was very nice.
We lived on the beach.
We did. We actually could hear the lake.
That's awesome.
From our back windows, so that was kind of nice.
Love that.
But we just outgrew the house.
Yeah. Especially with 2 kids and
the boys were getting older and wanted to keep them in the same school district, and that's where we looked.
Yeah. So I remember moving into that neighborhood, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like I was pissed.
Oh, I will.
Correct him where he's wrong.
I remember being like upset because I had my friends because I was 10. Yeah, 95. I would have been almost 10. I was probably 9.
Fifth grade.
5th grade. Around that time. 95 would be
6th grade.
Yeah, 5th grade was the first year I went to Bellflower. But I remember I was pissed. That was a hard time for.
Oh yeah, you're leaving all your friends at your school that you went to.
Yeah, and like especially because Morton was so small. Mm-hmm. We had the same kids from kindergarten, right? And I can remember having it must have been my 10th birthday, and you guys hadn't finished, like we didn't have the deck on the house or anything like that. And, like all these kids from the Headlands came over to my birthday party, and like I didn't have any, like I vividly remember them saying, well, who are your new friends? And like, it wasn't like, cause it had been the summer that we moved, right?
Yeah.
It was June.
Yeah. So like I didn't really
met
too
Drew.
many people
Was
yet.
Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Drew was
Drew met
6th grade.
6th grade. Yeah. So like
he was after.
afterwards. But yeah, like I just remember just like shit, like
yeah.
Who do I? And then I met like Raj and Perry when we went into school, and they just made fun of me. So that was neat.
Yeah, I've heard those stories before.
Well, I remember, to be fair, I deserved it because I would wear my Navy football jersey a lot
every day.
Oh yeah, that was a Bulldogs area.
Yeah,
for the football.
Yeah.
Oh, so you probably got some shit just for that too.
I think it was just more that
you wore.
I wore it every day, and it smelled. And it was like a mesh jersey, and I'm not sure that I wore anything underneath it.
He was a smelly kid.
And did I still have a mullet?
Ian was. Oh my god, dude, your mullet was phenomenal.
I don't think I had a mullet when I was in 5th grade, though. Did I?
It was a rockin' mullet.
It was really good. We'll put the picture of Ian across the screen.
God,
here we go. So let's fast forward a little bit too. Not even too much further, but the first time I knew you from baseball, like you were at the games and everything, but I didn't really know Mr. Lewis. 12 years old, I'd say we were playing at McMinn together, and myself, Robbie Kennedy, and Ian were at
the Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
The story still.
So life lesson: don't steal shit.
Don't steal.
Don't steal.
It was a baseball, right?
It was a baseball.
All right, so we don't know.
We had this
We were trying to figure
conversation
it out.
not
We
too
actually
long ago. I thought it was a baseball. I feel like out of everyone, I would have been the one to remember.
It was a baseball.
Yeah, you probably really remember.
It's a traumatizing
So-
event for me.
We saw the Carney walk away from his post, and there was what it's like.
Weren't we trying to win?
We were trying to. We couldn't win it.
And we failed, and then we
So the guy decided to take a break, a short break, short enough
Very short.
to where Ian went to go. Within reaching distance was the prize. So Ian reaches over and grabs it, and the carny saw us do it right away.
Yeah. We were slick.
Passed the ball over to Robbie, and then he ran, passed it to me where I had nowhere to go except there was a bank of porta potties. And I went into a porta potty. And that's where we got busted. So, middle of summer, we have baseball still.
Here's the thing, though, is like we were there without parents, right? And so
Mr. Kennedy was
Mr.
there.
Kennedy was there,
But he was there, but he
somewhere,
wasn't watching us. I mean, he was in the area. He was with
right.
us. Yeah.
But like, maybe this is a bad perspective, but I feel like most, like, we got in trouble, but like they didn't like press charges.
No,
like
it was
there
just
was
like
no like, hey, get out of here, kids. You know,
Yeah. Go back
whatever.
He told his dad, and
Yeah.
that was pretty much the end of it.
Yeah.
Until the word got to our parents.
But like, I knew from the beginning that I was fucked.
oh yeah, oh for sure. Can you explain how?
Yeah, like
You
I don't
heard it,
remember.
right?
How,
You came home and Mr. Kennedy came out and he said, "Well, I got to tell you about what happened at the Mardi
fucking
Gras."
narc.
He said, Ian and Robbie and Stevie were, they took a baseball. I'm like, what do you mean they took a baseball? Well, they were trying to win a prize. They didn't win it, and they took a baseball. I go, again, they stole a baseball? He goes, well, he took it off the shelf. I'm like, so he stole a baseball. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, send him in.
What happened from there? Because I mean, I remember the end result, but I feel like knowing you, I probably had a stew on it for a little while, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, I didn't stew on it too long at all.
No,
I went down and got the piece of ash flooring and said, let's go. Get out in the garage.
Yeah. So no.
And there was no discussion with Mom about it. I just said, get out in the garage. I said, I will not have a fucking thief in my house.
Yeah.
And ankles were grabbed and story was being told on what happened. And as he was speaking, I was swinging. And he got 3, I believe.
I don't remember how many.
I believe it was 3. And
blacked
then,
out.
and then I got, he didn't black out. And then he had to get the Sharpie pen,
Put the date on there.
put the date on it.
Yeah, I still have that. I still have that board. So
I'm sure Gibson's going to need it one day.
oh yeah. So yeah, I got
You
my
gotta
ass
hang it out.
beat for stealing.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never stolen anything since.
I believe that.
I really have not.
It's a good life lesson.
I mean, not even tempted.
No,
And it's not like yes, I got a-
taking to the coasters was not really stealing. It was there.
okay. Time out.
Let's go ahead and talk about what that.
So we just got these new the Talking Dads coasters.
They're nice.
They're very nice.
Yeah.
I had 4 of them.
So Mr. Lewis is over here staying in the Lewis Hotel
Right.
and taking the complimentary coasters.
Yeah.
Which are not complimentary.
I was like, wow, these are cool. These would be nice
Throw-
on my part.
Throw it in the bag.
So
He's a fan. He could spread it.
So I think maybe I'll go get the piece of ash flooring. Maybe you won't never steal again.
If you think they've dropped far enough to do that, you go
I'm going to
right
head
ahead.
home before that happens because I feel like it's going to turn around quick when Ian's getting hit again. But yeah, I remember that vividly, most of it. And you talked to me about it too.
Mhm.
You had a talk with me, and my dad did as well. But I think that was my first experience with Mr. Lewis, and he told me, I mean, I don't remember the exact conversation, but I remember being scared enough to be like, okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
not going to be doing that shit again. I mean, on top of, with you and my dad talking to me, yeah, I knew I was,
I think it was more of it was a stupid moment you guys did.
yeah,
And you guys weren't stupid kids. It's like you knew it was wrong, but you still did it.
yeah.
So you have to understand there's repercussions for everything you do.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you guys did. I can honestly say there's been times on one hand I can count that I literally wanted to just beat one of you into submission. And it was mostly you.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably mostly Ian's fault that happened. No, I'm just kidding. What the fuck? You took it, man. No, we all talked about it. We were like, all right, listen, here's the plan.
Look, you were the baseball stud. You should have won the damn thing.
I don't even know what the game was.
I think it was fast pitch or like speed pitch.
Yeah, okay. Show me somebody who could call their speed out. Okay,
I feel like you could have.
Yeah, whatever. Anywho.
No,
off of that.
Bottom line, that story definitely represents one of the many life lessons that I did get to learn.
For sure. And I think growing up with you and having you as one of my best friend's dads, it was good for me to have a dad like you around, because I mean you scared the shit out of all of us.
Dude, the best is Brian.
Oh, Brian on the fence playing. Yeah. We were playing baseball.
We were playing baseball in the backyard, and we had it was like a chain link fence, right?
I think
or was it?
No, it was the wood fence.
It was the wood stockade.
It was the wood
Yeah.
stockade. So it was before you guys changed it over.
I
And
remember that so well.
somebody hit the ball over the fence into the neighbor's yard. And what do you do when the ball goes over the fence? You hop the fence and you grab the ball. Brian's halfway up on the fence, like the stockade's like in his crotch, and we just hear, "Hey!"
I can't. It was. I don't remember if there was something about beating his ass or something.
Yeah.
Get off the fence. I can't remember exactly.
Get off my fucking fence.
Something like that. But I remember Brian just like putting his head down and just
I think
walking
he just went home.
He walked home.
I see. I don't recall that.
We should call Brian.
He should. He could tell the story so well. But no, it was good to have parents. Like my dad was always very big on respect. So we knew, like you said, you come to your house, we knew that if we needed something to drink, we needed something to eat, yes.
Yeah.
We also knew to be respectful and treat your house with respect and treat elders with respect. That was like, I think all of us grew up with that same.
Yeah, we did. I
lesson.
mean, look,
All of
we
our
were all
parents were the
very,
same.
very lucky. We all had good parents.
We did.
all had
And a lot
good.
of it was being a cop. The cops' kids were either very good or they were complete bags of shit.
Yeah.
And I was
You
not gonna have the
refused to
latter.
let your
I
kids
was
go down
not-
that.
I was not going to allow that.
Yeah, no, that's, and I feel the same way. I mean, I really strive to have my kids be respectful kids. Good,
Yeah.
like we always say, good humans. We want
Yeah.
them to be respectful, use their manners, just be good kids. I don't want them to be little assholes. I mean, that starts at home, right, with parenting.
Absolutely. You know, we always said, you take a little asshole home, a big asshole usually answers the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
that makes
kids
sense.
will reflect on how they're brought up.
absolutely.
Just doing the math here. What does that make me?
You think you say your dad's an asshole?
Just joking.
Those words never came out of any of our mouths, by the way.
No.
No, I think we had a good group of friends, and you said it before too. Like our group of friends we were good kids,
You were.
and the people that you didn't want around, you let them know. You let Ian know the kids you didn't want around, right? I mean, in a
To
way,
be honest with you, there wasn't too many.
yeah.
There was a couple of them, and it was the kid with the Hey Michelle thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't like him. I didn't like his attitude.
He's honestly not a bad guy.
But at that time,
though, I get it.
that you know who it was.
You know,
I don't remember. I don't even remember who it was. I just remember him.
It's Nick Jones.
Oh, okay,
Was
okay.
it Nick?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a great
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the
I
time,
didn't know it was Nick.
here's the deal. I never called anybody's. I didn't start
struggle
calling you
with it now.
Will until probably the last.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Since you probably moved, you know what I mean? Like I've called
And
your
we
parents
Mr.
Mr.
for years. I mean, the first one of your friends to ever call us by our first name was Jason, and it cracked me up the first time because he would have thought I would have thought he would have been the last one,
Yeah.
and and it was one of the parties or something, and I said, you guys are grown and on your own. You can call us by our name. You don't have. It's not all Mr. and Mrs. Lewis anymore. After that, it was like, hey, Will, hey, Michelle,
Yeah.
hey, Jay, how you doing?
But before that, though, I think we were all pretty good with that. I don't know. That's just something I
you
never
guys
did.
always
Yeah.
were. Every one of you were.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, that goes back to all of us. We're very blessed to have
We had
good families,
Yeah, good families, good parents.
and we just did everything together. So, like, that's one thing that I struggle with my kids is, like, I feel like we're going to move a lot, and it's going to be very hard to, and not a lot. Like, we're
I'd
not
say
gonna
you probably
every
move
year,
within the
but,
same
like,
area, though.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, I don't know, the neighborhood that we all grew up in, like, we rode our bikes to each other's houses all
Yeah.
the time. Like,
That was the best. So you figure from 6th grade through high school.
Yeah.
We were always hanging out.
Right.
Same crew.
And I mean, other than like, I mean, how many guys were we close with that didn't live in that neighborhood? Barlock?
Yeah, not many.
What a pain in the ass that was to drive to hit.
Yeah, all the way out to Concord. Barlock.
Miss that guy.
So that's another thing too. So the other day we were at Raju's house and his cousin was telling us about how his kids, the neighborhood he lives in, like on the weekends, like they have this new watch. They sell that Verizon.
Yeah, it's called a Gizmo.
And he's able to track his kids.
Yeah. It's like a low jack for your kid.
So he's saying like,
Chip them.
yeah, chip them. I'm fine with that. So he said like, yeah, all day the kids are out playing and whatever. Right. But back when we were little, we had house phones, right? We weren't carrying cell phones around. We didn't have little gadgets connected to us. So you figure from in the middle of the summer, you're working, Mrs. Lewis is working or whatever. I mean, we're just out running free
gone
all day.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. I mean, like from then till now, I mean, from what you see, how different is that? Like, don't you feel like now it's kind of a little bit different?
If you do that now, you're going to get the police called on you. You're going to be like, your kids are unsupervised. And I don't care if they're 13.
Yeah.
They're getting calls on, 13-year-olds being left home alone. I'm like, Jesus, my kids were 12.
Yeah, that's right around the time.
And if I got called into work, I'm like, I got to go to work, guys. Behave. Mom will be home in a couple hours.
I feel like such a different time.
And it's hard for me to even comprehend because I feel like 10 years old or 12 years old seems so far away for Gibbs, but it's really not.
No.
But like, I don't know. It's just,
I mean, I remember being 12 and being home alone all day.
Yeah.
And I mean,
well,
we just went
even
out
earlier for you because you had older brothers.
I did, yes. So they
probably
were
even earlier
like
for
my
you,
babysitters.
like they were home and
they weren't home.
them.
They just took off and I was just by myself. But I was with my friends. Yeah. Honestly, that's what I was doing all the time. Is I was with my friends.
We were trying to wake up Witterman.
We were playing sports all day.
Yeah,
riding bikes all day.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do worry about like
kids won't do that anymore.
I worry that my kids won't even have the opportunity to do that.
Well, he said though, you see kids.
Yeah.
You see a kid riding a bike that's 10 or 12 years old by himself. I would almost guarantee you.
In a neighborhood, you think? Yeah.
If you were riding over to Steve's house and you're riding your bike down past Lake Catholic, getting ready to go and down the street. Someone could just say, hey, some little young kid.
Yeah.
And they get called.
I mean, yeah. So I think with just the way society is now, and I think it's because you hear so many more stories now about like all the things that happen. So it even freaks you out when you're, like you said, like if I see a kid riding down the road by himself and he looks super young, it's kind of concerning in a little bit. Right. You know what I mean? It's like that little guy's going by himself somewhere. He's probably fine.
Yeah.
He's probably fine. But you still feel a little concerned about it.
No,
I don't think I would call the cops.
No.
I'll drive by and I'm like, okay, it looks a little...
probably fine.
I'm just gonna keep driving.
And then you see it's on the news. This kid's missing. And
then I'm the asshole. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. It's scary.
You're the asshole. It's just
that shit happens.
It happens way too often.
It's terrifying. The amount of stuff.
Was that even a concern back then?
It really started taking effect during the Amy Mahalovic, the Bayville. I think it was Bay Village.
I don't remember.
Girl just disappeared.
Really?
And they never found her.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
I think they may have found her later on, but
yeah.
it was one of those things that it just didn't happen there.
Yeah, you just didn't see that kind of stuff.
And everyone was like, "Ooh, you can't let your kids out." Bay Village was a nice place.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And all of a sudden, it was like, boom, just vanishes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's tough. And I mean, you always hear these stories about like these guys always trying to offer kids candy and stuff like that too. Was that a thing back in the day?
Oh,
I mean, because that's what our parents told us and school told you.
Yeah.
Don't talk to strangers and all that. I mean, kids are getting picked up.
Gibbs is 100% going for the candy.
Oh, 100%. Right now he would.
Yeah.
Give him a couple years. All right. Here's the deal. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rent a van.
Rent a napper van.
I'll get arrested. Inducing panic.
I swear we're just doing a test here.
I'm trying to teach the kid a lesson.
Social experiment.
Yes, social experiment. Show up in a van on your street. I mean, it's me. That's how it wouldn't work. I'll put a black mask on.
You're videotaping the whole thing.
Hey, Gibbs. Yeah, but it's me, so it wouldn't work. Okay, I'll put a mask on.
I mean, that's why when I see people with the little stick figures on their back window with all their kids, stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
Because you're saying, okay,
You're advertising
you've got
hell.
3 kids, you got a dog, you know, you're a soccer player, you're doing this, so I know you're going to be in
you're
this
advertising.
area, and you're advertising.
And sick people might follow you home.
They look for stuff like that. I mean,
That's terrifying.
and especially when you'll have something be like, Kaylee's mom. You know, something like that.
So now
It's
you
like,
got the
okay,
name.
So now you got the name.
You got a name.
And
You know how many kids there are?
Or the sticker that have the kids' names on it. I've seen those. I'm like, wow, you're just asking for problems.
Yeah, no, it's true though.
Well, it's a hard.
about that.
It's a.
I don't
It's
think
a
I would ever
fine
be the
line
parent.
between being paranoid and being
Cautious.
Cautious.
Right.
Being observant.
Yeah.
That's what
Most people don't observe any of their surroundings to begin with.
And like I've said before on here, like the way I was brought up is like I always knew my surroundings. Like I was always very aware of everything around me. But parties, I knew the exits. I knew like what you know what I mean. Like I knew.
So where do you think
What
you
people
got
to
that
watch.
from, though? Do you think that's because we were on our own?
I think it's because my parents. I think it was my mom kind of scared things into me a little bit, like about bad things happening.
Yeah, but like the idea of being cautious, sure. But do you think that being on your own at even 12, 13,
absolutely,
14 years old, riding around bikes all day,
that is true.
Do you think you picked that up along the way of, okay, I need to know how to get out of here. I need to know.
A car looks suspicious.
know,
Someone looks suspicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I think
Like,
maybe I
you
just picked that up.
kind of stuff
Yeah.
up. Like no one, you don't go to a training seminar where you say, oh, here's what to look for. You know what I mean?
No, but I feel like
And so,
at
like-
home, a parent could teach you, kind of lead you in the right direction. for
Lead
that.
you right.
Not make you scared and paranoid, but
So
know
then,
your surroundings.
So then the next question becomes is if, as a society, we're not letting our kids off the leash that much,
that's another thing.
is that something that you naturally forget to teach or or maybe not spend as much time on? And then how does that affect the next generation? You know what I mean? Because I'm always know where stuff's at. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like I need to know what's going on around me.
Yeah, like I mean,
But like I don't think he ever said, "Hey, you need to watch where this is, watch where that." You know, maybe you did. I don't know.
I think maybe
But
to
I
an
think it's just
extent, but I
something
think
you
you
pick up.
pick it up as you go.
But
If you're
because we were allowed to just go do whatever we want, not whatever we wanted. We knew
we know our limitations.
we had the values down to where we knew what we were allowed to do, what we weren't allowed to do.
we weren't like going around
Knew
destroying things.
what we could push the envelope on, what we couldn't.
Yeah,
But like because like Chelsea's doesn't let the kids out of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And granted, they're young, so.
Well, yeah,
but
they're
like I
still
can see
2 and 4.
into the future here, like.
Didn't you hear Mom yesterday? Gibson was on the deck and he runs around the corner. The first thing she says is, "That's how kids get picked up."
Mom did?
I'm like, he's right there. I see him.
Right where?
Right there.
Right there.
But it's like she is really.
But those are the kind of things that I think about, though, is like as we change and as the norms change, how is that going to affect when they're adults? Like, are they going to be are they just going to be oblivious to?
That's why people like me make fun of people in this new generation, because they're completely oblivious. They don't understand situational awareness.
Yeah.
You turn that up.
You know,
this is Mike, yeah.
they look at everything as everything is just super sweet and everything is toasty.
But it's not.
It's not.
It's a rude awakening when you have to live.
It's a cruel world out there.
Oh, absolutely.
But nobody wants to accept that. Nobody wants to do anything about it, and nobody wants to make their situation. You have awareness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. And you could see the times changing for sure. And I mean, maybe that's technology. Maybe that's social media. It's like things like that. But
it's
I mean,
a
but people,
completely different world today than when we were 4 and 5
for sure.
years old.
Because I mean, okay, so for example, you have these kids that are college age and they have to, something bad happens. Say there's a disaster somewhere and they have to have people come in there to comfort them. They need their spaces and things like that. Whereas if you think about high school, 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
We watched it happen
God, that's
on
true,
TV.
yeah.
We watched it happen
In
live.
school, yeah.
And we had to go through the rest of our day
I wouldn't say normally. I mean, we still had to go to our classes, so I didn't shut things down. We didn't have to have
I thought they closed schools down.
They didn't
Not
close
that
our
day.
No.
I thought they shut it down.
No,
that
we,
day.
we,
Every
we stayed
single-
we stayed for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I remember kids going to the payphones. We had payphones.
Yeah.
And the kids were calling their parents, and some kids were getting picked up.
I mean, classes weren't normal.
They weren't normal.
All
We
the
st-
teachers had it on TV, and
Yeah,
we were
for
talking
sure.
about.
But we were
I remember I was
still-
in world history class
Yeah.
when it happened.
Because I
Mr.
remember
Wolski.
walking out of the class, somebody goes, plane crashed into the World Trade Center. And I walk out of the class, and they're wheeling a big screen TV to the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So I walked over and watched, and then I watched the second plane hit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh shit, the bell's about to ring. So I had to sprint to my next class, and everything was just
Well, and then remember, because everyone thought, I think, if I remember correctly, everyone thought that the one plane was headed towards us.
because technically it did fly over.
because of the plant.
It
crashed in
flew into
Pennsylvania,
It
right?
flew into our airspace. It was turning around. They think that one was going to the White House. But Cleveland Air Traffic Control picked that up.
Yeah.
Hit me a bourbon.
Oh yeah. I mean,
But yeah, you're right though. Like that happened, and
but there's things like small things happening.
like
These
we
kids
never
need,
had anyone come in.
No, they're like bringing dogs to these people to like,
Yeah.
you know,
Comfort dogs.
comfort dogs. But we're talking about college kids, right?
Yeah.
You're leaving home and you're going away to college. You should be a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're sending
And not tough in a
Mentally tough.
like
mentally
emotionally
tough. Emotionally tough.
Like
you
should
can't let
be
something like
able
that
to-
completely break you down to the point where you are shut down and you can't do anything else.
Yeah. And not to get super old man, but that like goes along with like 8th place trophy culture where, you can't lose because you'll feel bad. Well, like shit happens.
You lose. Was there participation trophies when we were little? I don't think so. I tried to have this conversation with somebody. I remember being.
Well, I taught his first baseball league.
Yeah.
He was too young to get in, so the only way he could get in is if I coached it.
Okay.
So I had the Marine Corps League sponsor it. In fact, you were only 4.
Yeah.
You were Gibson's age.
Yeah.
And it was coach pitch.
Mm-hmm.
We put the scores up. We gave how many hits the kids had, and we made sure everyone got their names in the paper. But it wasn't. They had to do something.
Yeah.
Right.
And we would have the 2 top hitters, and then we would have so and so.
And I remember that too.
score
Like
3 times
yeah.
or something like that. We give them some sort of benefit, but it wasn't.
You're not handing
just-
out trophies to everybody.
No, and the kids turned out okay.
Yeah.
It's a good life lesson to realize that you're going to lose, right? I mean,
You can't win everything.
No. You can't go into. I mean, eventually you'll figure that out,
Right.
but I think it's kind of a good idea to teach them that young. I don't know.
It's so hard. Like, so again, given, the daycare centers and stuff like that, the problem that I see is I almost think that there's a different set of norms or what should be taught based on the kid's parents and or like living situation. Because here's the thing. If you grew up in a home where you have 1 or 2 parents that are teaching you the values and everything else and how to deal with that kind of stuff, then yes, I think that you should learn how to lose and you should be able to handle it.
Yeah.
But some of these kids don't have anybody watching them at all. And so all they're getting is complete negative. And I can see, I mean, you see some of these kids that then grow up and like can't handle anything because can't handle anything positive.
And that's where
You know
the
what I mean?
role of like
that's
a daycare or school
Sure.
should kick in.
Sure, absolutely. And that's what we definitely try to do. But I wonder, like, yes, we were very fortunate. Again, I always try and remember how fortunate we were that we grew up with families and then like friends that were all in similar situations and we could kind of bounce stuff off of each other. And like a lot of kids just don't have that. And so I wonder if that's kind of where it started, is that there was subset of kids who like needed more positive reinforcement. Then they said, well, that works for them, so let's do it for everyone. Like, and I just don't think that it's fair to say that every kid needs the same thing.
No, No, I mean, there's always been
There's
always been kids with different situations.
Look, I don't agree with as a whole of the idea of a participation trophy, but I think there are some kids out there that need
a win.
Right? Need something positive in their life.
Yeah, but in a way, but
Well, what are you taking away from the kids who put forth?
You're right.
The more
And
effort,
that's why
they go out and they're at batting practice, and
You're right.
they're having their dad or whoever hit ground balls to them and throw to them, and they want to make themselves better, and then they win all the games because the other team just kind of shows up because mom doesn't want to have to watch them for 2 hours in the evening. And everyone gets the same trophy, and everyone's patted on the back and told how great they are. Well, you're not great, kid. You suck.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And
you want to get better, you make yourself better.
And I don't even know if I'm saying in sports.
That's a slippery slope, though, because I mean, you could be like just giving kids good grades. Then
yeah, no,
you know what I mean, or just
like
having them get to the next
what?
grade.
You know what it is?
Boys are grading on a curve. Here's your grades. If you get 100% to 90%, you get an A. You get 89%.
That curve helped me though.
It helped everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same point, if you have
you're right.
You're not pushing the people that are getting the 40 and 50% to do any better because hell, I can pass.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? What's in it for me if I instead of going out with my friends, I could stay home and study and get a better grade. But I'm still going to pass the class because
not to worry about it.
You don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's a tough man. And it's nothing we could change. It's just such
I guess really the answer is parenting and finding a way to give some kind of positive reinforcement without degrading what everyone else is doing. Do you know what I mean? Like without devaluing the masses, how do you encourage? And I think that just really starts at a young age.
I think, like you said, it has to start at home.
Yeah,
your kid comes home and you say, "Hey, you did an awesome job."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like celebrate small accomplishments when they do, especially when they're young. But as they get older, like, "Hey, you lost."
Right.
You know, let's try to get better at this. Let's try to improve this. Or
I did do that with Gibson his last T-ball game. So it's T-ball, but the last couple games we were allowed to do coach pitch. And like Gibson can hit the ball.
Yeah.
And not everyone can or whatever, which is fine. And I think it was his first at bat, he got a good hit. His second one though, he didn't hit. And after 4 pitches, you have to use the tee. He was fucking pissed. Like he put his head in, he wanted to go back to the bench. I'm like, you better get your ass over here. And he did. But like, and I talked to him afterwards, I was like, look, you're not going to get a hit every time.
Yeah.
Like,
that's an important lesson. Man, that's baseball for you too.
You still have to participate. You still have to do your job, which your job right now at that point was to go up there and get a hit. So whether it's off the tee or from the coach, it might not be might not be the result that you wanted.
Yeah.
But you work harder so that way you hit it, and the next time you came up, you did get a hit. You know, I don't know. Like, it's so hard for them to grasp it, and it's so hard for in the moment to realize that that's what you're teaching. Because immediately when he did that, I was pissed. But being pissed doesn't do anything about it. And I had to like,
you have to take a step back sometimes. It's hard to do it in the moment
and say, you know,
well, like for you coached Ian, his first team, right? As coach pitch, and do you remember when the kids weren't batting? The kids in the field are pretty much just sitting around playing in the dirt. You know, what I mean, playing with their shoes. And
I was that coach. I rifle a ball at him.
Yeah,
and
it wakes him up quick.
And I remember there was one kid. His dad was like adamant. You know, this kid's at shortstop. He's so good. He's this and that. So I put him at shortstop. And every time I'd look over at him, he's kicking the rocks and counting the rocks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, pay attention. Playing with the rocks. So I'd rifle a ball at him. His dad's like, and I'm like, okay, one of these kids is going to luck out and hit one of these balls one day.
You never know because they're not paying attention.
They're just going to drill him, and like he's going to get hurt. So I put him in the outfield, and his dad lost his mind. He's like, he's not going to get any better if he's playing the outfield. And I go, well, he's not going to get hurt out there.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention, it's a life lesson right there too.
I mean, it was.
I saw that blink.
You just see these parents that like that fight they just had in Colorado. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, these were 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
They're
That's
like,
tough.
I'm pretty sure there's no Rocky Scouts here today. So you know what? Let these kids play. And it was over a 13-year-old umping. And
Those poor kids that have to ump those games. Did you have to ump back in the
Yeah,
you
that
did that for a while.
Having to deal with parents.
That sucked.
I don't think it was anywhere. Did you have parents screaming at you?
No, it would be more. It wasn't really. Actually, it was the coaches.
The coaches.
The coaches would try and influence and be like, "Hey, that come on, blue,
Yeah.
and like you had to like block that out because. But I mean, I don't know how old I was, but
You're probably 13 years old or something.
there was
14?
no.
You're probably 13 or 14.
There was like a lead umpire that was older, but like they were there for like the entire. There would be a few fields there, and they were there like kind of going back and forth.
kind of
But like
looking over everything.
they put us in charge of doing the game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we the umps.
We them humps. So we talked about this on an episode that will never be aired because I think it was deleted. The one
Oh yeah,
from after the Indians game.
yeah. I don't remember what we talked about, but
I do.
okay.
So it did get into the point where we start talking about little league sports and how crazy people are. You see these videos all the time of these fights and all that stuff. I said at this point, if your kids are going to play organized sports, you should have to go through a seminar
Yeah,
as a parent to be like, hey, listen, like you said, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any scouts here today. No one's getting scholarships today. Let your kids play. Don't scare them away from the sport
Right.
by you being a psycho. Let the kids play. And you know what? They'll figure out. A lot of kids. Here's the thing. We've coached. I've coached baseball. I've seen kids that shouldn't be playing anymore.
right.
But their parents have this
So, but let me,
this image that their kid's going to go play in college and do all this, and they're spending tons of money for their kids to do this stuff. But your kids, I mean, maybe they're not even interested
here's
anymore.
the thing, though. So, I think some
Yeah, I wouldn't say all parents have to go through this,
Parental-
but I mean,
involvement is good.
for cheering,
I remember playing and like being a cop and everything. Like I'm sure there was games that you missed, but honestly, I can say I don't remember.
I miss a lot of them.
But see, I don't even remember that. I remember. Well, I do, I guess, because I always knew when you were there, and I wanted to do everything the right way,
oh, for sure.
and that maybe turned into a negative because then I would get pissed and
Get kicked out of games.
yeah, but like. But like no, like you, I don't ever remember you yelling at anyone other than me. But
That's what I said. I mean,
I
it's not
do-
all.
you know
I don't
what?
think it's all
I
parents.
don't ever remember yelling at you like across the field.
No.
I would bring you
Pull you to the
yeah,
side.
you pull me to the side
Go,
after the inning or whatever.
cut
Don't
your
fucking
shit.
do that again. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
But like
for sure. That's. I mean, my dad would do the same thing. He'd come over and be like, "Hey, try this next." Like, if
But
you're
again,
swing or do this.
Yeah, right.
But
But
he
again,
wouldn't
like
go.
fine line though, because like yes, you don't want parents in the stands like yelling at the umpire or doing whatever, but you also want them involved.
You wanted them involved
So
in a way
check your emotions
to a certain
but-
point. When you get to a certain point in sports, there's a time when parents shouldn't be involved anymore. Like during game time.
Right, yes, because that's the coach's job.
That's the coach's job.
staff's
So like when
job.
when you start playing high school sports or like even in junior high school,
You're
it's like your parents do not talk to you
right,
when the game starts.
Right.
They stay in the
You're right,
bleachers and you do not leave this dugout.
Right.
This is where you stay
yeah,
until
if
the
you have
game's
an
over.
issue after the game's over.
Yeah, unless you have something goes wrong, you have to leave. Then yes,
Right.
but if your parents should not be anywhere near the dugout talking to you.
yeah, no, that's true.
Totally agree.
That's true.
Now, when you're little, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, let's be honest. A lot of these coaches for kids that are little league,
Oh, yeah.
they're volunteering.
Yeah, they're
They might not know
volunteers,
everything about like, and you want your kids to like not really do exactly what they're saying. Like, you're like,
Right.
okay, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about with that swing, and
Right.
so you pull him aside and be like, try this. I mean, so that makes sense.
Didn't we
but-
always have good coaches though?
yeah, actually, I remember almost all of my coaches growing up.
Like I remember
Even in Little League,
Coughlin.
yeah.
I remember
Mr. Piatic.
Piatic.
Mr. Griffith, yeah, Griffith. Was it Griffith? He was your like enemy though, because like I think he was always kicking
that
you out of
guy.
games.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I still tell people that story. I go, it's hilarious.
But who?
I had Johnson.
Johnson.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I don't know, but regardless, I do
But you're
remember
right
that
though. Like
we had good coaches, but you don't know.
most coaches are they're all volunteers. They're
Yeah.
they're taking
You know,
time out of their days.
I was a good coach in the 4, 5, and 6, up to 8-year-olds. I didn't have I couldn't correct kids' swings and
Right.
tell them to
but you kept
do
the-
this or that or the other. But I could teach them the basics.
Yeah, and keep their attention.
Well,
where
it's
you-
managed.
That's why.
Managerial.
That's why I said. Ian was by far a better baseball player than I ever was. I mean,
that was
literally-
amazing.
You were a good player. And you know what? And that was the one good. That was your best asset, and it was your worst fault. You knew you were good.
Yeah.
And you were an asshole about it.
That's everything in my life, though.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's
an asshole.
is what I do wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's, and to be honest with you, that is kind of a Marine mentality.
yeah, and I mean, at least now I'm self-aware about it, and I can catch myself mostly.
I wouldn't say that you're like cocky about things that I've ever really noticed. I don't know.
In my head, I am.
That's where you should keep it then.
I do
Okay.
most of the time. I'm serious.
Until the alcohol
It's
gets in
terrible.
there and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
start throwing it
You
around
know
at
what?
people.
My filter has been withered away for years. So that's why if people don't like what I say, I don't care.
I know.
I really don't.
That's
And I'm not going to tell you something to make you feel better, so that way you can go home and
Feel all warm and cuddly.
and just curl up with your blanket. Fuck you.
Thanks,
you know,
Mr.
if-
Lewis.
If there's something I tell you, it's because that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. I could be completely wrong.
for sure.
Usually doesn't happen, but
I don't know a time that you've ever been wrong.
Allegedly, there's theory out there that I have been wrong before.
I don't know of anything that comes to mind. Maybe one time.
Oh
I
man.
won't talk about that on here.
Oh, we can talk about whatever.
I know you're going to bring up the party.
All right, let's dive in. Fuck it.
Which party are we talking
The
about?
one where I had to question
came
you.
found-
and-
We've talked about that before.
We have
haven't
talked about it quite a bit. We've talked about it several times.
Yeah.
I actually had to track another cop down and have him take me to Wycliffe.
It was Wycliffe,
And he
huh?
was- Yeah, it was Steve Shum.
Oh yeah.
Because I go, Steve, you're the only cop big enough to handle me if I get out of hand with my kid. I said, because this is where he was supposed to be, this is where he was, and now he's here.
Yeah.
I said, and I'm going to get him out of there now. He goes, well, let's wait for intermission. I go, okay.
That'd have been.
So we stood there and just waited, and you guys walked out the door, and your eyes just bugged.
Who are you with?
Um,
And I don't know who you were with. Here's the deal. Let's get this.
but then we had heard.
I don't know how. Okay, and here's the deal. Did you tell any of us where you were?
No.
He never told any of us where you were.
I knew 100% that. Listen, I
You knew you
I had a
you found him.
contingency. I mean, talking about like knowing your surroundings and having an exit strategy and all that kind of stuff. I had I knew what I was doing was wrong. So number one, I was grounded at the time.
You're
Number
supposed to be playing
two,
football.
I was supposed to be playing football, but I told
You told the
football
coach
I
you
had to work.
Told to work you in football.
I had told work I had football. You guys had plans or something like that, so I thought I was in the clear.
That
Well,
got
you're-
canceled.
You're all set so that you guys showed up to the game, right?
And you guys showed up to the game. That's how you figured out that I wasn't there.
That was the first part, yes.
Yeah.
But we had heard that there was going to be this party down.
Rachel Cantera's
Amazing how you,
And
Parents know everything.
I don't remember whose parent it was, but one of the moms said, well, I know a couple of the boys were going to go down. They were having a party off of.
So you found us on Culver. So we were, but the party was the street over. But when you found us, we were heading to our friend Renee's house, who lived on Culver, and that's where you found us. So we're walking down the street and we're smoking Black and Milds
It was
illegally.
you,
Perry,
Raju.
and there's somebody else that you didn't know. It was some one of our other friends that
It may have been DJ. No,
because
no,
he
DJ would have been
I
playing.
wasn't
he would
there.
he would
Would
have.
have been in football.
But there was someone else that didn't know you who was just absolutely terrified. So we're walking down the street and we see a truck coming towards us, and Perry and Raj and I are like, haha, here comes Mr. Lewis. Like joking because you can see the light bar on the top.
My cowboy lights.
Yep. And all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, that is Mr. Lewis. So we were like freaking out. So you roll up and ask us where the hell Ian is. And we're like, I don't know. Now, the story goes that one of us told you where he was, but I honestly did.
Nobody knew.
This is 16 years ago. 17 years ago.
No.
No one told me
Like 19
exactly
years
where
ago.
you were. There was, I know some people were getting together to go to a play at Wycliffe. That's all I know.
Okay.
That was enough. So then I went to Wycliffe and I said, what play is going on? Where's it at? It was off Warden Road at the community center.
You went to a play. We were at a party. I mean, I know what you're, but yeah. So Mr. Lewis tracks us down. This is just good parenting right here. So he's calling around, finding out where everybody is. Finds out there's a party. Finds us. Questions us. Scared, like you said.
And I was pretty harsh with you guys. I'll give you that.
Oh, for sure. But
I remember a few. You fucking lied to me.
No, I mean, you said to the one other person who was there with us, and I can't remember who it was. We were like, if you don't tell me where Ian is, Raj and Steve and Brian know. If you lie to me, I'll come down on you like the wrath of God. I remember that. I
used to say that a lot.
Vividly. And I was like, I don't know. But you figured it out. You found him. I can't remember how it all went down, but I just remember that whole night, just all together, because we're having such a good time, worry free. Then Ian has to go and screw everything up.
You guys got to continue having a good time.
We did, but it was like a 5-10 minute interaction with Mr. Lewis that was terrifying. We all thought we were going to die
for 10 minutes.
Yeah, well.
It was
Hey, did he deserve it or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
My watch is telling me to stand up and breathe.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't remember what happened then after. I do remember getting up for intermissions, like
seeing your dad.
Gonna go take a piss or something like that, and like, oh shit. And like there was no like slowly backing up and blending into the crowd.
Trying to find the nearest exit.
If there's one thing that I can say, and maybe it was just the fear, or I don't know what it was, is I always knew when to say, "You got me."
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I still know. Well, you got me.
Yeah, because
like there's no denying
if
it.
You're caught, you're caught. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Well, I wasn't here.
Well, look, I know kids would just run and take your chances of getting away, and
Yeah,
Okay,
and you're already.
I got another story about
eventually
that.
You got to go home.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes, yeah, you had to go back to
Is
your
that
house.
the Bruno
Yeah.
story? Yeah.
But he fucker got away with it though.
I wasn't involved in any of that because I was too good of a kid
Yeah.
to be hanging out with
Were you
those.
there that day?
No.
No, I wasn't there that time.
No.
No, I did hang out with those
that
guys.
that was I remember that was in August.
It was right before school started.
It was right before school started.
I remember it all.
You were grounded from August to April. I remember that because it was A to A, and I just remember that. And Mom's finally like, "Can you please unground me?" Because the kid has been in here all winter. He hasn't seen any of his friends. I'm like, I don't care. I said no until I'm like, fine.
And so that one actually turned into
That one backfired on John Bruno.
Yeah. Well, no, backfired on Joey.
Joe.
Oh, because you didn't think you refused to.
He goes. He's got a twin brother. I go, no, he doesn't. I go, you're
make that shit up.
I did. I didn't believe him for years. I didn't believe him. And he's like, well, this is John Bruno, and I'm like, no, it's Joe Bruno. He goes, no, that's my twin brother. I'm like, no shit, you're really good. Okay, my bad.
Sorry, Joe.
I treated Joe
Yeah.
horribly for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, don't you fucking talk to me, kid. You did nothing but lie to me. It's like, no, it was my brother. It wasn't me. Yeah, okay, whatever. To this day, I feel bad about the way I treated that kid. And it's like every time I see him, it's like, hey, Joey, how you doing, buddy? And he's like, hey, Mr. And he has never.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think
against me. And John thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
He
would.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, he definitely would.
I literally thought you were going to beat my brother's ass a couple times. And he goes, just for being there, being somewhere. And I'm like, I really didn't know you guys were twins.
Hey, I mean, we didn't really hold anything against you, really. It's great stories when you all when you think about it.
You know,
I mean,
20 years later, it's a great story.
Yeah.
At the time,
I think even at the time.
I was pretty rough on Joe. I was.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I
just
get it.
Mean to him. I mean,
We didn't do anything that bad.
Again. Well, no, you didn't steal the stuff.
No.
It was Mike's Hard Lemonade. I remember that.
I know.
I remember the cop bringing him home, knocking on the doors like 3:30 in the morning. He's like,
We were hanging out with some chicks, and
Grab
we
a
had the
couple-
neighbor.
couple Mike's Hard Lemonade.
The neighbor went and got
Getting
his
a little
beer.
crazy with the Mike's
Yeah.
Hard Lemonade.
The neighbor went and bought it for you? I thought you took it out of Bruno's family.
No.
Okay, let's try to get the
fridge.
story straight real quick.
All right, so here's what happened.
Uh-oh.
So me and John are
We're gonna
hanging
have to get
out
that piece
with
of wood out sooner.
these two girls, and we were what, 15,
Yeah, you weren't driving yet.
14, something like that. I don't know. And I don't know if I was supposed to be sleeping over
Yeah, you were sleeping over
John's,
Bruno's house.
yeah, Bruno's house, yeah.
You guys were out.
And like one of his neighbors or whatever, we're like, hey, let's we need to go find out how to get some beer. And so the neighbor was like, all right, you know, we probably paid like 10 times what we were supposed to pay for it,
Well,
but he would
obviously.
go. And so he's out. And all right, so here's where we did something wrong. We were bored, so we're walking up and down the street and we're throwing rocks at the streetlights. Well, we hit one. So one of the neighbors called the cops. So whatever, we're just hanging back, and the guy came back with so we cracked our Mike's Hard Lemonades and
Get us some Mike's Hard Lemonades. Trying to get messed up tonight.
I want a Zima.
We them Zimas.
Zimas.
listen, it wasn't my best moment. But yeah, so we're over there, and all of a sudden we see cops come, and John knows the woods. It's his neighborhood. You know, it's right behind his house. So we take off into the woods. And like, I remember like we were all sitting there, like all
In the
four
woods?
of us in the woods, like hiding behind like some trees and stuff like that. And all
You
of a
guys
sudden,
stayed in one spot.
well, hold on.
Okay.
So then we see the flash, because there were flashlights were going away from us. We're like, all right, I think we're going to be okay. And all of a sudden they turned and they started coming quick. And so I look back and I'm like, John, where did we go? And he's fucking gone. So it's me and the two girls. And I'm like, ah. And again, knowing when you're caught, like, I just said, okay.
Were you still holding your Mike's Hard Lemonades?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Because I say, I hope you
Yeah.
ditch the evidence.
Yeah.
Oh no, they knew he had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
it was
they-
very
too late.
clear where we were. Like,
Yeah.
it was, yeah, whatever. And so he puts me in the back of the car, the cruiser. I don't remember what happened with the girls. If they went and I don't really remember. But
Just
he's
send
like-
him home.
He's like, where are you supposed to be? I'm like, that house right there, you know. So he pulls into the Bruno's. Or no. They knew where we were because we were hanging out in the driveway. So mind you, before that night, I'd never met this guy that went and got us the beer. So that guy was gone. Once he dropped the Mike's Hard off, he left. So we're still hanging out in his driveway. So then the cops then went inside the house, or like knocked on the door, woke
his
that
house?
guy's parents up, because he was like 21 probably, and woke his parents up, and they're like, I don't know who the fuck this kid is. I'm like, hi.
Cool driveway. Thanks for
And
the
so
beer.
he's like, all right, they're like, all right, where are you supposed to be? So then I'm still in the car. He puts me in the car. We go over to Bruno's house. They had to go knock on that door. And like Mr. and Mrs. Bruno didn't really know me that well. And they're like,
Take him
what
home.
is going on? So he's like, all right, we're going to take him home. And he puts me back in the car, and he's still talking to Mr. and Mrs. Bruno. And behind John's house, I see John like waving at me, like he's going to open the door and let me out. And I'm like, no, like, forget it. I'm done. Like, I'm like, go.
I could see John doing that too.
Oh, he totally would have. If I would have given him the sign, he would have came over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, that'd have been bad. Because at that point, they already knew who I was. And
Yeah,
I remember
if you run, you're screwed.
begging them to take me to jail. Begging them. It's like, nope, going home. Put my bike in. I think my bike was there.
Probably.
I think I put the bike in the
Yeah.
trunk.
That's right.
Fuck.
Start patting your underwear, just getting ready to
Yeah.
get your ass kicked.
I don't even remember.
No, you didn't get.
I don't
paddle
think
for
I
that.
got.
No.
Yeah.
No?
You got the white tornado for that one.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
He gets home, 3:00 in the morning. Cop calls. He goes, "Hey, sorry, man. I understand.
pretty sure you
work
just
for-
came
you
off
work
of
for East
afternoons.
Lake." No, I was on. Yeah, I was on afternoons. I got home at midnight, so I just gotten to sleep. He's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, you didn't tell me you were a cop until after I was already called." And I'm like, "No, that's fine." He goes, "So I already have the paperwork." You know?
I don't think I ever told him. Well, I must have.
And I'm like, "No, that's fine. Send it to court. We're good. Just go get in the house, go to bed." I go, I'll talk to you in the morning. The morning came.
I don't think I
Did
slept.
you, I was gonna say, did you sleep a wink that night?
And I got up, went downstairs, and I like, what happened? Told me what happened. I said, okay. And I went over to his dressers and pulled them out, dumped them in the middle of the floor, threw them all over the place.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Took everything, and I found that whole big thing of those rap CDs. And I told you, I go, that shit not in my house. So I just started snapping them.
Those rap CDs.
And he goes, those aren't mine.
Oh yeah, they were
Drew's.
Drew's.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez. Yeah, that guy had
I
a.
probably broke 10 or 20 of them. And I'm like,
I think I had to give him my Nintendo 64 to pay for those.
don't care. I said, I don't want that shit in my house. And I said, you have till I get home from work to have this cleaned up. I went to work.
And then you cleaned
It was
up.
way worse than what he just explained.
Well, probably in your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad.
I mean, like,
I just think
You
like
survived
4 years later, I realized where he got it from.
Yeah.
That's a boot
Green
camp
thing, yeah.
tactic. That's
It's horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible.
But it works.
Yeah, it does.
Get your attention.
For sure.
Yeah.
Start doing that to Sam now.
So then I think I was grounded for another 6 months, probably.
Yeah, well,
I had to like go to
Well, we had to go to court for
juvenile
that.
court.
And juvenile court said, lady probation officer looks at me. She goes, you look really familiar. And I go, yeah, I'm usually here in uniform. She's like, oh, that's right. You're an Eastlake cop. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, oh, we can make this. We could just forget this. And I'm like, oh, no.
no.
No, he needs to be on probation. And if he fucks up anyway, put the hammer on him. I said, I'm fine with that. I said, you're not going to offend me. This is what he needs done. So I think you were on probation for like 3 months.
Yeah, probably.
It wasn't very
Probably
long.
like
It wasn't
90
very long
days,
to the
yeah.
course. Like 90 days is you don't get in trouble, you keep your grades up, you don't miss school, and this is done. And that was normal practice. It wasn't anything special because I was a cop. And I said, that's fine. And I said, we'll hold him to it.
Hey,
So
you know,
those 3 months, you didn't leave the house.
Yeah.
And you didn't miss school. And I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember you being grounded.
You got grounded a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Your mom even said she
I was
goes,
grounded a lot.
he was grounded much more than Kyle was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Listen, half the shit that I got in, well, not half.
oh,
A portion of the stuff that I got in trouble for was Kyle.
I'll give you one story of Kyle getting us in trouble, where you thought that we did something, but it was actually Kyle and his friend.
Sorry, Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle. I'm turning you in right now. It was me and Barlock were sleeping over, and we were just playing video games.
Was it the wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, I blamed it on Danny.
Well, you blamed it on us,
No, you blamed it on us.
and you sent me home.
You sent
You
Steve
sent me and Brian
Barlock
home at like 2 a.m, so we had to go to my house. But Kyle and
Scotty.
is this Shula Scott?
Scott, or was it?
No, Scott.
Scott. That's funny. I forgot about that.
But that one time, I could say that was not us. We didn't touch anything. We were being good boys that night. Then you sent us home,
Mm-hmm.
and Kyle was out. He wasn't even at home.
Yeah.
He snuck out that night.
Yeah, they were out.
Hey, like I said, you don't get them
Hey,
all.
you don't get them all.
I didn't turn him in
Yeah, we didn't say anything
at the time. I'm turning him in.
I did
now,
tell
but-
him though.
That's probably why you got blamed, because you were there. I probably didn't even look for him.
No, because he
you
probably
guys
figured he was
were
asleep.
there.
Yeah, we found Kyle. He was walking down the street with his buddy. I go, hey, listen, your dad's up, and he just kicked us out of your house. So you need to get back into your window or however the hell you got out of there. He's like, oh shit, and he starts
I never
running
snuck out. I really did. I
of your
really
of
did.
your house.
Yeah, never.
Not out of your house.
Right.
Yeah,
Whose house did you sneak out of?
Arco's probably.
Oh yeah. If we were like sleeping at someone else's house, I didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. I would do whatever. But if I was at home,
It wasn't even
no
like.
way.
Here's the thing though: is like we would sneak out. We wouldn't even do anything. We would just walk around.
I know.
Like, what are you gonna do at 3 a.m?
You know what?
It was just the thrill.
Yeah, it's
doing
just the
what you're
thrill of
not supposed to
sneaking
do.
The
out.
thing is, if I would have ever caught any of you guys like breaking into cars or something like that,
Yeah.
I'd have come unglued.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Because there was a time Jim's car got broken into, Al's car got broken into, The guy next to me got broken into. The guy across from him got broken into all in one night. My cars were not touched. And my cars had the keys in it, the whole 9 yards. I see the cops out the next morning. They're all taking reports, and I'm like, "The fuck is going on, man?"
Hey,
and
Will,
they're
this
like,
is weird.
"All these cars got broken into last night." They go, "Check your cars." My keys are there. My wallet's sitting on the thing, and nope, someone from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I go,
Knew you were a
someone who
cop.
knows I'm a cop.
Yeah,
And
for
they're-
sure.
Yeah.
And I immediately pointed over caddy cornered across from Al's.
Yeah.
Because they always had the.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Those kids were punks.
They were.
I know, no,
They
trust
were
me, I know. I
punks.
remember that
They
whole
were-
group.
I was walking Jaeger one time, and these douchebags were standing out throwing rocks at the stop sign, and it was irritating me. So I walked around the cul-de-sac, and I come back up that side of the road, and as soon as I do, the one guy gets up and he stands right in the middle of the sidewalk, and I'm like, yes, this guy's going to be an asshole, and I'm going to put him down. And I'm walking, and all of a sudden his buddy runs up behind him, and he goes, he's 5'0", get out. And I'm like, okay, you know you're from the ghetto when you call someone in.
I was gonna say I haven't heard the term 5-0 and
Oh, man.
no, I can see. Yeah, he's like you said, it's got to be somebody from the neighborhood.
And I walk by and they go, sorry, sir, we won't do that again. I go, good, you do it again. I'm going to come back over. They're like, nope.
So that kind of shit's annoying. And I mean, we did stupid stuff, but I don't think we were like, I don't know.
I mean,
No.
like I said, there was that time where I was throwing freaking
Nope.
rocks at the street lights. That's how I got caught.
Well, since we're being all honest and everything like that, I was not the greatest kid in the world. I was kind of an asshole. I was
Really?
I was a tremendous asshole.
Huh.
I had a gun shoved in my face one time for egging a car. 1970, I think it was a 1978 Camaro, brand new Camaro. And we were by the bridge, 615.
Mm-hmm.
And we just pelted this guy's car with a brand new car. Just pelted it with eggs. We're running away. Son of a bitch catches us. Comes out, sticks a gun in our face. I'll fucking kill you if I ever see you guys again.
How old were you?
12, 13. The one kid, what's his name? Frankie something. Oh, Frankie Sanchez. That's what his name was. He pissed his pants. He was like, he literally thought the guy was going to shoot. I thought he was going to kill us.
Oh yeah.
Well,
And because we were hiding at that point.
yeah.
And he found every one of us. I'm like, wow, this guy's good. And he's like, what, Chuck Norris or something. He's just gonna kill us. And so we got that out of our system. We never had cars again after.
That's a good lesson.
That's a great lesson.
And you're gonna love the 70s too, because if you were to ever put a gun in a 13-year-old's
Right,
face now,
right.
Oh, you think I went home and told my parents that?
Right. That's true.
that's another thing too. But you damn straight kids would now
It was
though.
Oh, yeah, kids would
It was
now.
like 1 o'clock in the morning, man. We
Yeah.
weren't supposed to
I mean,
be out
hopefully my
anyway.
kid would.
Your parents would probably be like, "Well, you shouldn't have been out."
Yeah.
But now it'd be like, "Oh my God, who's that? You need to be calling the police." You know what I mean? Like,
I got brought home by the cops one time. No, they followed me home one time as I was running from them until I hit my neighbor's clothesline and I literally flipped over it.
that's amazing.
And I had this red welt around my neck and I was laying in the backyard. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And granted, my dad comes out. He's like, was that for you? Yeah. Let's get in the house, you asshole. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to think of. I don't think I ever.
We didn't really do
No,
bad shit.
Oh my God.
you
I
probably
mean, we
don't.
really didn't.
We don't have enough time
Yeah.
to go over the stupid shit I did as a kid. And that's, I think,
But
that-
part of it is that
was
every time
part
I
of the
did do
reason
something
I was so hard on you
Yeah.
because I didn't want you to do the stupid
to
shit.
progress,
Because you didn't. Yes,
into
exactly.
Because
that kind of shit. Yeah.
literally most of the people I hung out with in high school are dead or in jail.
Yeah, but you're pretty old. You're not. I'm just joking.
I go with that. I was talking to Gibson today. I go, do you realize I'm 50 years older than Gibson? If I live to be 100, Gibson will be my age right now.
Yeah.
Close to it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
I'm
is.
like, I don't want to live that fucking life. I really don't.
No,
Because my kids already said, man, they go, we'll take care of mom. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You get in a wheelchair and have to be spoon fed, you're going to starve. You're going to die.
you'll be on. Put a little in-law suite for you in the basement, with like Sloth when they just like threw baby roots
Yeah.
at him.
Pretty much.
I'll just throw
Baby
Burbank down there.
Ruth. you just throw a plate in there every now and then. There's ice cream in the freezer. Every day. It's the blue moon. If you think you're losing him, throw him a Baby Ruth.
No.
God. Yeah. All right. Let me ask you this. What advice do you have for us as dads? What's something we could take and use?
I'm going to tell you this not because it's your show,
Okay.
not because I'm trying to kiss your ass.
That's a good start.
You guys are better fathers than I was. You spend more. You are instilling all the values of family, friends, and everything like that with your kids. I was more concerned about making a living, working, so my kids didn't have to want for anything. And I look back on it now. Like I said, I missed a lot of your games, and I realize that.
I don't even remember that though.
I do. I missed a lot.
I guess I do
Because I
remember.
worked permanent afternoons. I was working 6 days a week, 4 to midnight, and all your games. Your mom.
Oh, she's the best.
And that's part of the reason I really like to bust your balls about that, because at boxing today, the instructor's going, "Come on, harder, faster, harder, faster." I'm thinking, Jesus, is your mom here? Come on, that's funny shit. Still, one of the greatest ones was at
What does she think she's going to get out of that saying that anyway? Every guy's going to be like,
because she wants.
She said.
I mean, come on. Everybody, I would be screaming that from the back of the class.
And I'm sitting there, I'm literally laughing as I'm hitting the bag. I'm like, oh my God, 'cause she keeps going over. She goes, "Come on, harder, faster, harder, faster." And I'm like,
I gotta sit down.
where's Michelle? She's around here somewhere. But at what party was it? It was at Bob and Terry's house. We were playing cornhole in the back, and I get Eric, and I go, "Eric, you want to fuck Ian up?" I said, "Your mom looks really hot in those shorts tonight," and he did. Ian throws the bag straight up in the air. He goes, "I'm gonna kick your ass, Arco. Fuck you, you don't do that." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So every time Ian would go to throw, and he'd be like, "Man, she's looking good, Ian."
Throw him off his game so bad.
He ruined him for the night. It's
Arco's
that.
so good with that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
You know what? I like busting his balls on that, but I always knew, even when I was working, if something was to happen to me, I knew he would take care of his mom forever.
Oh, for sure.
And that was part of the reason. I mean, I always make fun of him, say he's a mama's boy and all that kind of shit. But I know his mother will always be taken care of.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Like you said, you weren't always around for everything, but that's something that wasn't like stuck in
Get
his
back
head.
to what you asked me.
Yeah,
about.
for sure.
You guys are doing a phenomenal job with your kids. Your kids are all very nice. I mean, they're little.
Yeah.
You know what? When they're 13, if they're assholes, I'll be the first one to tell you, your kid's an
being
asshole.
a dick. Yeah.
Your kid's an asshole.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to avoid happening.
And you know what? And with you guys, if your kids turn out half as good as you guys did, you're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
You guys are all. I mean, you, Brian, Raj. You guys are all good parents. You got your shit together.
Well, we were all really lucky that
I think we had
basically planned everything, right? Like
with
remember, like I was, how old am I?
34.
So yeah, I mean, I was 30 when Gibbs was born. That's a full 10 years.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
What you were doing
20 years
at 20
old.
years old?
I mean, like you said, you were still in the Marine Corps. I was doing some dumb shit in the Marine Corps. Like,
We all were doing dumb shit at
I
20.
I didn't have that opportunity.
right.
Because I mean, your mom and I mean, And that's why I was making the joke about when you said about vacations, how we never went on family vacations. Well, we couldn't afford to.
Yeah.
And your mom and I busted our asses
Oh, I know you guys did.
and did whatever we had to do. Mom was working like 2 jobs. She was waitressing, and I'd work, on the base during the day, and then come home and take care of you. And then she would go to work until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was tough. I mean, it's like, you haven't lived until you've had mac and cheese, hamburger helper, tuna helper as your 3 main courses a meal for 3-4 months at a time. I made $10,000 a year in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
$10,000 to raise a family living off base. I didn't have on base housing. I didn't qualify.
Yeah.
for it.
Okay.
So we were paying.
I
was
worry
tough.
about that shit. Like, all right, so when you grow up before you have kids, I feel like you think, I want to make sure that I'm ready so that my kids don't have to worry about, because like very much recognize what you guys went through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the time I didn't.
I would not do it any other way.
And I was going to say
Well,
this
that's
too,
what
is
I'm
because
thinking,
you said
though, like,
with the food and everything like that, you do not probably remember that part of anything.
no. Don't get me wrong. I remember eating mac and cheese all the time, but that was fine for me.
His first crib was a Foot Locker. We couldn't
Yeah.
afford a crib.
But
And as an infant, he was sleeping in a Foot Locker with a blanket up on the sides. That's all we had. And my mom came
destined
out
for the fucking core.
That was it.
and probably the most proudest moment of my life was when you walked across the parade deck, Paris Island, 20 years after I did, and the first thing you said to me was, "Thank you."
I remember
you.
that.
Thank you for telling me to shut the fuck up and do what I was told.
I remember
I'm
that.
like, okay,
Proud dad
I
moment.
did it right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
That was.
That's awesome.
You know what? My
Dude, that's a proud son moment. I mean-
Oh, for sure.
My grandkids mean the world to me, but to see my son do that, that was something.
that was cool. I remember, when you go to Marine Corps boot camp, the first 72 hours are a fucking blur. Like, you
I
don't
can't
sleep.
imagine.
Not allowed to sleep.
You don't sleep. You get a million instructions yelled at you. You're trying to adjust, all that kind of stuff. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't even know where you are. Like I remember knowing I was in Paris Island, but I didn't know where that was.
Yeah,
Like
3 days ago, you were hanging out with your friends drinking.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, your life is completely flipped upside down.
It probably took me though, like a week to realize that I was by far the most prepared person in my platoon.
Yeah.
Like no joke. And I'm not saying that but I was like from
I've
everything
always-
from having experienced a white tornado to
Yeah.
understanding
you had you
the
ready.
importance of taking care of your uniform. You know what I mean? Like all of that shit that you learn, and because they break you down and then they build you up, right?
Yeah.
And so the breaking down was pretty easy for me, and I hate saying that. And like part of it is, hey, they can't get away with as much as at boot camp or whatever. But like, there was other people that were fucking struggling, and like, I knew how to take an ass chewing. I knew how to take, the
Hey,
pain,
good on you, because I mean, that's what, and you're prepared for it.
yeah.
That's good.
And I was a fat
I'm
kid,
going to
too.
say you were tough, but that's good
honestly-
parenting, though. I think.
I raised him to be a Marine.
And you know what's funny though?
and-
People
and
always
this
say,
is nothing against Kyle, because Kyle is my youngest son, and I love him as much as I love
Oh
him.
yeah, for sure.
But I could see a difference in them.
Mm-hmm.
Ian was always really driven. Kyle was just very laid back. He was just a happy kid.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was just always.
Yeah.
He was the cute kid,
Kyle,
the little
though.
blonde haired, and just
Kyle.
nothing bothered. And to this day, I'll say that kid will never die of a heart attack.
I know.
He is.
I can
envy
tell you,
that.
that kid has zero
stress.
and I always said I
If he's
envy
got,
his
If he's got $5 in his hand at the end of the month, he's like,
boom,
done. Good month.
Yeah.
and that's great. I envy that.
He's one of
It
those
cracks me
people that
up.
honestly, I don't think material stuff
Means
or
nothing to him.
like there's not happiness is what motivates him. And if he's happy doing his own thing, he's good.
He's happy.
Yeah. But anyway.
She still drives me crazy.
Oh, absolutely. It drives me crazy too because
I'm like, Kyle, man, you're almost 30 years old.
Is he almost 30 now? Yeah, because we're 34, so he's got to be 30 coming up.
He's going to be 30 in September. Yeah.
In September.
Oh, my God. I remember he was a little... Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, right?
God.
No, I remember, like, proud dad moment or whatever. I remember the parade deck and, like, that was a cool... Like, I think that was the first time I looked at you differently than dad. And because, you know, leading up to that point, it all made sense. Like, I bitched about my parents. Not really my parents, mostly my dad. And don't get me wrong, mom was hard on me too. No. But not like in a different way. But yeah, like I remember like when I graduated. Because remember, people always assume that it was like you're going to the Marine Corps. And I don't remember it that way.
I do.
That's what I told him too. I told him that I always thought
literally everything that I
no.
You for him
100%
drive him towards that.
100% you prepared me and you were setting that up. But I don't ever remember you saying this is your option.
No.
Like people think that like you had no choice.
Oh no.
No, but I feel like
I was definitely guided that way.
No, I think that
I pushed it.
Yeah.
For sure. I just thought you always were. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe you didn't talk about it. Maybe you did. I don't know. But I just always thought that he 100% was.
I remember my plan was to go to BG with Raj.
Yeah.
I remember doing the application and all that kind of stuff. And I had to go do my SATs. And I got fucked up the night before and didn't go to the SATs. And I said, well, guess I'll call the old recruiter. Because I can't pay.
Seriously?
Yeah, swear to God. Because I paid, or you guys paid, for me to do the SATs, and I didn't go.
How much was it?
I don't know.
All right, get another bottle out. We're going to start.
I was going to say, do you have PayPal or do you have Apple Pay?
I mean, that's the way I remember. I don't know. I know that I didn't go. Because I tried to show up late.
But you didn't. No, I remember taking you there. Because it was at Menor High.
Yeah.
I remember taking you there, and you did okay. It wasn't like anything we expected.
I think I just stopped halfway through. Like, I think I was pretty hungover, and I just said, forget it.
I didn't drink in high school.
Fuck up.
This guy's talking about getting drunk all the time. I don't know. I was just hanging out.
Dude, what is this?
Oh, poison
that's
ivy.
poison ivy.
Oh, don't. Really?
This part around here, this little burn is from a Band-Aid because I was scratching it. So I put like this Band-Aid on it, and then I tore it off and like burned, like ripped my skin off. So
God, Liz was giving you a little.
Looks like I got a hickey.
Yeah.
So my dad said, he's like, what are you, 16? I'm like, yeah, looks like I got a hickey. I'm like, it's poison ivy, so don't touch it. It's not contagious. You're fine. You can rub it. Yeah. You can scratch it for me. It's really itchy.
That's what she said.
Been lacking on the buttons tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess you covered the proud dad moment part then, and then back to what you were saying before about us is you saying that we're good parents and all that, and
you guys are.
I appreciate that, and I was going to say that attests to, I mean that speaks to you as a parent too, because I have to say you were, from my eyes, I know you were strict and what have you. You were definitely a good dad, and we always respected you as his father and just like as a parent. You know, so I think we learned our lessons from
Call it respect now.
Well, scared.
We were all terrified.
We were terrified. That's number one. But I think
was it your friends I told the lime story to?
Probably.
Which one?
About the bag of lime in my garage.
Yeah.
It was because I remember it was a baseball banquet.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you're Mr. Lewis. Do you really keep a bag of lime in your garage?" And I go, "Yeah."
Oh. Yeah, you.
And these people were like, just
okay.
They walked away. And I'm like, doesn't everyone?
Yeah. Well, you don't? It's weird.
It's fucking weird, man.
Some weird people around here.
And I remember when you were playing for McMinn, and it was one of those games at Menor High. And I remember this lady, I don't know who she was. She was smug. And she's like, oh, you're Ian's parents. I'm like, yeah. She's like, he's a really good ball player. I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I could put you in touch with people where he could get on the team at Menor next year. And I go, why don't you go fuck yourself? I said, my kid can hit the ball farther than anyone you know. And I said, I'm not kissing your ass to get him on a baseball team.
Wonder why I didn't make the team.
Literally, he's up to bat, and this lady is fucking just standing there looking at me, just going. And she starts to say something. They throw you a pitch. You hit it so far over everyone's head, it goes into the next field. And you sat there and did one of your patented, where you watch it, and you're like, oh. And you're standing in the batter's box as these people are running for the ball, and you do the flip the bat, and you're trotting around the base with your like smugness, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm not gonna be in touch with people. I said, if you want him on the team, then he can make the team on his own. I said, I'm not kissing no one's ass to get him on the team. Because I remember when you tried out for Menor High, I mean, you come home and you were like ecstatic. You're like, oh my God, I had the best workout ever. I was throwing curves. I was throwing this. I was hitting everything. And then you don't make the team. You're like, I don't understand.
Because they wanted me to move to the outfield. And I started talking shit.
I go, that may be because of me.
No, I think I remember. I don't think it was Taylor. I think it was one of the other coaches.
Probably Turkle or somebody.
Turkle, maybe.
Wanted you to play outfield?
They wanted me to try out, like, do some outfield drills. I'm like, I don't play outfield.
Oh.
I'm like, well, you need to go. And I don't know why, because.
Oh, I do. You're an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, they made everybody try out in every position in ninth grade.
And I was like, no, I don't play outfield.
They made me do pitching.
Like I catch and I play third.
And you pitched.
And I pitched.
And you pitched.
But I wasn't a great pitcher. I mean,
you're
a good pitcher, though.
I remember the the game Tom Angelo and I were at the Willoughby Park, Gibson Park. Yeah. And we were sitting there watching the game, and the starting pitcher, he's getting shellacked. I think Gary was the coach. And he pulls him out and goes, Ian, get in here. He warms up a couple times, throws a couple pitches, the batters. He's doing good. He throws a curveball. The guy calls it a ball. And Ian goes. And he's like eyeballing the guy. He's like, are you kidding me? Gets the ball back, and he ends up striking the side out, whatever. The umpire actually had the balls. He walks up to him and he goes, totally missed that call, kid. He goes, that was the best curveball I've ever seen. He goes, I didn't expect it to break back in, and I called it a ball before it even crossed the plate. He goes, but that was a strike. He goes, that was my fault.
Hey, at least you can say it.
I was standing behind the plate, and I was like.
You were a solid pitcher, though.
Yeah. You were a great.
You were like an everyday.
I could put
like,
the ball where I wanted to,
you could,
but I didn't have the velocity to pitch at the
not at all, but you
high
had,
school level or anything like that. I don't know.
If you had, yeah,
maybe if I worked on it, wasn't an asshole.
What was it? Maddox from the Braves.
Greg Maddox.
Yeah. Greg Maddox. He wasn't a great velocity.
Yeah,
he could put that ball.
Do you ever look at that just one day?
That
look
pitching
at
staff.
That pitching staff get 95.
Glavin, Maddox, Smoltz,
Wooler. Dude, their whole team was.
Fuck them.
The pitching staff was ridiculous.
Yeah,
we had the best hitting team in the.
Should have won that.
We could go on forever about that. Oh God, we did. I think we didn't get swept.
We got swept.
I thought we lost. I thought we won the game.
I don't think so. Did we? I thought we got swept in '95.
I'll talk about it later.
Oh, yeah, whatever. We'll throw up against the screen.
We'll throw it up across the screen. Ian's been throwing things across the screen like crazy.
I did it one time. Well, they haven't even seen it yet. Well, he will. Yeah, whatever. Anywho.
Yeah, but I think they did see it.
Yeah, they saw it.
Okay. All right.
What? I was going to talk about something before, and I never finished the thought. You said that you wouldn't do it any other way, having kids that early and like going through what you guys had to go through. What I was saying is, I think growing up, like once you're an adult and you say, hey, maybe I do want to have kids one day, you say, I want to do it to where I don't have to put my kids through that. Because again, at the time growing up, I never felt poor. I never felt like that
was your life,
you know. But then you look back on it and you're like, yeah, I kind of do remember eating macaroni and cheese every day, which again, I didn't care at the time, you know. But I think that like part of you said, yeah, I think you always want to do better, right?
Yes.
And so I'm very fortunate in that I waited and like planned everything out, and we had kids, and like we're in a place where we can not have macaroni and cheese every night. Mm-hmm. Now I worry that my kid's going to be an entitled piece of shit because they go on vacations and we do all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's what scares me.
I know exactly what you mean. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. I mean, like, and I try to not raise them to be that way, but I see it all the time though.
I'm kind of harsher on Gibbs.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to, because I see how he is.
Yeah.
He's like, get me some chocolate milk. I'm like, you fucking ask nicely before you get anything. And I know it drives Chelsea crazy, but I mean, I talk to him like I talk to my kids. Yeah. It's like, if you know what, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you. And I see Ian and Chelsea just going, he is that guy. Like, yes, I am that guy.
You are that guy. But hey,
it's not that I don't love my grandkids. I don't.
But you want the best for them.
I don't want them to ever come up and say, you owe me this. Oh, you fucking thing, my friend. Just
and I work real hard to like not let that be, but
you know what the thing is? You're aware of it. Number one.
Yeah.
It's a fear of yours. So I feel like at the same time, you'll probably not let that happen.
Yeah.
You do have control. You do have control of what you're doing with your kids.
Yeah.
You're molding them into. But
even if I do my part and control it, they're still going to go on their vacations and they're still going to have things.
Christmas is ridiculous for you guys.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you guys got that much in your entire lives with me for 1 year,
that's
what
probably
he gets
true
for Christmas.
Yeah, it's not totally. Well, from me, yeah.
That's exactly true. I see the shit that kid gets, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's.
That could be the mindset of you wanted to give your kids a bunch of stuff, like give them what you never had, but you want to do it.
It's things.
It's things. Here's the thing. And this is we've had this conversation. I have so much shit at my house that we should have never bought. That we should have never. That they don't even care about. They don't even use.
We don't really buy our kids a lot of shit. I mean, we do, but most of it comes from. Remember, my kids are the only grandkids on both sides, so they get super spoiled. And I think it's good. I think it's nice that they can do that. But, so one of the things that we've been trying to do is every like month or two, we try and go through and say, all right, what do you want to donate? Like cycle out some of the old stuff.
That was pretty cool when Gibson said he did that.
Yeah. And he was really excited this time. Like finally, after, this is probably like the fourth time that we've done it. And finally this time he was like excited. Like, yeah, I get to give these so other kids can play with them.
Yep.
Like, I thought that was cool. Like, cause I don't know what the alternative is. Like, it's just got too much shit. Like,
every time
you guys have the playroom, like,
yeah, it's just garbage.
Insane. Like,
we filled up 2 garbage bags, and they're not even toys. It's just pieces.
Yeah,
it's just crap. We have birthday parties. So Sam's birthday. So we have Christmas, and then Sam's birthday is
a week later.
Yeah. So then you have a birthday party, and people just dump a bunch of toys. So what we do is we put them all away. And like bring them out like one at a time. Like a few months later, we'll bring one out. So it's like, then he appreciates it more. Because if you get a bunch of shit all at the same time, everything just gets thrown in the corner. He has his favorite toy, and then all that stuff just goes, it's garbage now. So what we do is you reintroduce new toys that are exciting at the time. So, I mean, that's a good way to do it for a close birthday like that. Like Christmas, because there's just so much shit. We have bags of stuff that we're donating. Yeah. We'll probably just dump it off at the daycare.
Fine. Hey,
no, we have good stuff though. We have good stuff though.
Yeah, no, you guys do that all the time.
Yeah,
and you know what? And the kids a lot of kids that go to the daycare, they don't have shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, no, it's good.
No, and and that goes back to you're saying you're worried about like the kids feeling entitled, being spoiled, all that stuff. Because I mean, like you said, you guys didn't really do vacations too much.
Every once in a while, just walk by your kid and just crack him for no reason. You just go.
Perry's son gave me a ball tap at the festival earlier.
Did he really?
I have no idea why. Like Tara was even like, "Did you just hit Steve?" And he's like, "He didn't even." Like, I don't know why he did it.
That's awesome.
Honestly, I'm like standing there talking to Tara, and all of a sudden I feel like he like punched me right in the fucking dick, and I'm like, and my dad was standing there, Mr. Perry and Mrs. Perry, and I'm like, I mean, I almost fell over. He cracked me in the sack so hard. And Tara's like, "Why you hit him?" I'm like, "I don't even know what the hell." I'm pretty sure he did one of these. Like,
What'd I do?
I'm like, I guess he's just like his dad, just walking around ball tapping. I was like, why? So I guess they're doing it to us already. Damn kids.
Just walk away and just crack
Pop
him.
him in the head. It's like you got to do with dogs, right? You got to show them who's boss, who's alpha.
Yeah.
My dog knows who's boss. What the kids do. No, I agree though. It's tough. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
think
know.
it's
I
just
don't
a
know the
different
answer.
set of concerns or situation to deal with that, like, because I don't have a blueprint for that, right? Like,
Hey, you're learning.
like
on the
I know
fly,
how
Nobody
to.
does.
right?
It's true.
Nobody does.
I feel like you're always learning on the fly, right?
It's all OJT.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. But I mean, it's very apparent when I have to discipline Gibson. Like, and Chelsea's great. Like, her and I both have an understanding that, like, if one of us catches one of them doing something and it's time to do the discipline or whatever, whoever starts it, finishes it, and the other one, you know, if it's Chelsea that started,
like,
I don't
you're backing
interfere.
There's no hero
I'll
coming
back
in
her
or
up,
like.
and but I'm not going to step in and overtake it. And she does the same thing to me. So it's nice. I do think that's a good thing. But whenever it's over and done with, she'll be like, "You were your dad right there." Like, that's what I envision your dad doing to you, and because I will. I'm hard on him when I need to be. So but that's what I mean. I have that kind of blueprint.
I'm that guy.
No, but listen, it worked. I think. I mean, I don't know.
You're better for it.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
No, I agree. It's
So, but like, that's what I mean, though. I have a blueprint for that. What I don't have a blueprint for is how do you, again, do things for your kids that you didn't necessarily have, or you know, the vacations and stuff like that, but still make sure that they don't turn out to be assholes. And you're right. It's OJT. It's learning on the fly.
And each
Figuring it
kid
out.
is going to be different.
And it's values.
That's
and
true,
it's just
too.
Trying to teach them to be good
You know,
humans. and
we never, ever threw a party like you guys throw for your kids. Ever.
those are for me.
Honestly, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't because we didn't have the time.
Right.
You know, and you could say you could make time, but we both worked all
Yeah.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, you know, if we could have 5 of your friends over, have a birthday cake, throw a banner up, boom, you know, or a couple of things.
something small.
Yeah.
Pop a
we
balloon
just-
with a cigar when the party's over.
I didn't smoke cigars.
Yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Or cigarette, whatever it
I smoked
was.
cigarettes, yeah.
What are those things
just
you used to
remember
smoke, the wood?
The
Wood
Swishers.
Swishers,
Yeah, I remember those.
I remember one of my birthday parties. We were in the garage. There was a table set up in the garage. I think it was like raining, and we were out of control. We were probably like 12. I don't know, maybe not even that old. And he clearly had enough of us being crazy kids or
Yeah.
whatever. And he did. He took his cigar or cigarette, whatever it was, started popping balloons. Says "Party's over." Okay.
Party's over.
And I remember looking around like parents like, "Is this guy fucking serious?"
Yeah, get out of my house. Okay, one more thing about parties and you. I think it was Ian's graduation party or Kyle's. It was ours. Your graduation party.
Yeah, it's probably mine. Oh yeah, no, it was definitely mine.
It was yours because
Yeah.
so we were all hanging out in the garage and we're just hanging out, eating, whatever. And you walked out and you're like, "All right, time to clear out the people." And you looked at the one guy, our Mormon friend, who doesn't drink, smoke, or do anything. Like, you,
I don't know you.
I don't know you. Get the hell out of my house.
I do kind of remember that.
So no, what was going on is it was somewhat late.
It was still
I don't know.
daylight.
Yeah, it was still daylight though. But the
8
party
o'clock
was
probably.
supposed to be kind of over, and some of your friends were over, or they were over most of the time or whatever. But it was like, okay, you know what it was? Is I think that I think the keg was out, and you were like, all right,
You want anybody
close
drinking?
friends are allowed to, the ones that are sleeping here
Hanging
can
out.
hang out. And it was like the first time ever. Like I'd already had my date to ship out and all that kind of stuff. Like it was kind of like, all right, if you're sleeping here, you know, the ones that I know is fine.
People
Whatever
don't
it
know.
was. I don't even know if
Who
that's
was
true.
that kid?
WJ
WJ Belkey. Nicest guy you ever meet.
I do remember.
But you're like,
someone
I
out
don't
because I
fucking know you.
I don't know you.
Get out.
Get out. I do remember that, but I didn't know that kid, and he was like,
Nicest guy ever.
All right, one more. 8th grade. It was the last day of school. We had to sleep over at your house. We slept outside
Oh yeah.
because Ian said we weren't allowed in the house. We couldn't go in the
I
house.
don't remember why.
he's probably banging his mom.
You don't score.
Jesus Christ.
Until you score. That's right, baby.
No, I don't remember why, but like we did. It was the last day of school, and
We said we weren't
was
allowed
like
in the house.
5 of us
We had
or
we
something
had a
like
bag of
that.
chips.
Gaborko tried to sleep in
the attic.
in the attic in the garage, which is the dumbest place ever when it's
The
hot
hottest
out.
place you could sleep. Yeah, it's Gaborko. And then Bo Bortnick and I slept in the backyard on a tarp. I remember that. Good times.
There's a
We weren't
lot
allowed
of
in the
shit like
house. Hey, you know what? Whatever. We had a good time anyway.
that. Yeah,
We had a TV. We hung out in the garage all night.
that's right. Because we brought the TV outside and we were playing video games or something.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times at the Lewis
Thank
household.
God you guys weren't like totally obsessed with the video games. You guys played a lot, but
you know what
guys
I remember?
wanted to go outside. More.
Yes, we played. So it was like nights when you had to be inside.
Rain and
You know what though?
snow
Like,
and
like
winters.
I always love, and I still do love video games and all that kind of stuff. But I remember, I think this is part of the reason why I don't sleep still, is I remember I wanted to play, so I would wake up early and go downstairs and play before anyone else got up. And then once it was, if you stayed home, there was work to be done. So then you would, all right, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah. We do the same thing. We wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and start playing video games, like just because that's the time when you had to do it.
And then by like 8 o'clock, you got to get out. Like, otherwise you're going to be splitting wood all day or
Dude, I love
whatever.
waking up super early, getting on the bike, and just going.
God, it was so difficult for me.
No, I'm not saying that. But why the fuck did you have a giant wood pile? Like, we weren't living on a farm or some shit. Like, there was a giant wood pile. And there, I just remember anytime we would really fuck up, like, all right, well, here's what you got to do. You got to go split wood. Like, we're in the fucking,
Woods.
was that Little House on the
You
Prairie?
know what? He's not smart, but he's strong.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I just remember doing. I remember in order to go do anything, we'd have to go to
yeah.
Arco's house and do chores
We'd
for
always
like
do
3
chores
hours.
at Arco's house.
We have to make sure Ian wasn't grounded. We'd have to make
wake
sure
Witterman
Witterman
up.
was up.
That's a crapshoot right there.
So it started for me. I would have to drive. I'd have to ride my bike over to Arco's house. It was my first stop.
Yep.
Do chores with Arco. Make sure Ian was okay to even leave the house. Make sure Witterman was awake. That was my route every day.
Go get sandwiches from Perry's.
Yeah, get
Mom made the
sandwiches
best
from Portland.
sandwiches.
She did. UP's mom. We have great sandwiches. We'd get some like those pretzels filled with cheese over at the Witterman's house.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
swimming or whatever if we were allowed.
Yeah.
Jay's parents didn't care if we went swimming.
No.
Jay cared if we went
Jay
swimming.
Oh, really?
He wanted to leave.
He didn't want to be at his house. We wanted to hang out at his house because he was
He had the
burning
pool.
CDs. He had
Yeah.
the pool. He had all the cool stuff. So we was like
Crossfire.
Crossfire.
What's Crossfire?
It was the game
Greatest
back in
game.
the day. It was like a board game, but there was like these little
BBs.
BBs.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
you
shoot 'em at each other.
try and score. And
Yeah, you don't-
Ooh.
You don't score until you score. Until you score. That's right, baby.
So
Yeah,
a little
man,
trip
that was
down
it,
memory
though.
lane there. All right. Well, I think we've covered almost everything there except for.
Oh, we got to get a dad hack.
Do you have a dad hack? Do you know what that is? You've seen other stuff. Okay. So ours is basically for little kids. a dad hack like Ian's is like a misdirection type thing, like get Gibson away from what he's doing, distract him with something.
Choke him.
I mean, it's one way to do it. Just a quick one. Is that what you do?
All right. Well,
That's how we get Ian.
Yeah. No, so a dad hack would be something that you achieve a goal in a way that might not be natural. So, like again,
a little trick of yours.
Yeah, a trick to make life a little bit easier. You know, again,
From a
mine
dad's
is
standpoint.
if I'm trying to get Gibbs to stop playing with his toys and go eat, sometimes I'll yell at him and I'll try and get him to touch the door and come back and turn around and do push-ups and whatever, and then he forgets about it.
Break a pinky.
So like the old major pain.
Snap it.
The old major pain trick.
Pain compliance. Break that little finger of yours.
Okay.
Can we fake break the 3-year-old's fingers?
They break really easy.
They're like rubber. Those kids, the falls that
you can bend them back, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
the way the falls that the kid has, these kids have, I'm
You
just
know
like
what?
they should be broken.
You guys actually have a great handle on your kids. Your kids. I was telling Ian, I go, Sammy's fearless. I go, he was jumping off the deck box and face planting every time, and he would get back up and do it again.
He's a little
What are you
Tank.
holding it now?
No. Oh,
well, you know, I gotta.
Might as well kill it. Kill it before you grill it.
Scoozy.
Oh, you-
Ah, me Scoozy.
man, excuse.
Well, I'm gonna have a little bit because you know, Daddy's gotta drive home still. It is late. Here, you finish it off. You're on vacation. Well, I mean, like retired, so vacation's like
Yeah, but remember, I'm sleeping down here with the bourbon, so I can pretty much.
you do whatever that. Yeah,
Whatever.
you have your choice. It's quite the selection you have there, Ian.
Thank you.
And your dad's gonna be getting into that later. And I'm not talking about your mom.
That's what she said.
Come on, I had to hop in there with
Yeah,
him.
nice. Nice.
You know, he was cracking the jokes. I had to join in for a minute. You know, I felt like
No, it's
I
good.
had the.
It's good. It's good.
I never disrespect. I never get involved in that. But Arco's always good for it. Like, hey,
Arco's
he's
awesome.
great with it. He'll be like, "Oh, we're doing this tonight." He's like, "Oh, is Michelle there?" I'm not going. She's not there. I'm not going. It's like, no, man. Oh God.
You know what? Again, you guys have been very good kids, even when you do stupid shit, and we everyone does. And don't kid, you know, if you think I thought you guys were like the little angels walking on water, I didn't. I knew you guys were fucking doing shit,
Yeah, exactly.
and I get it.
We all.
But
yeah.
it never was a malicious, rude, illegal.
Yeah.
Well, other than you, with stealing shit and fucking breaking out lights and shit. But
This guy.
Only once though. For each offense.
you know what? I never got my ass kicked for things twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
Good lesson. You knew you weren't going to steal shit
All right,
again.
so wait, no, we need a good dad hack. So that's kind of our thing. So think about like even something when we were a little bit older, was there something that would work to motivate us to do something, or something that you would?
You might not like it. Fear. As long, you know what? Everyone says fear, respect, as long as I have compliance. If your child believes, you know what, I'm going to rip your fucking ear off. If they think you're going to rip their ear off, they're a little more apt to do what you tell them to do. And I'm not saying you have to threaten your kid and tell them you're going to disfigure them.
Right.
But your kids should always have a fear of you. And I know everyone's going to go, oh my God, this guy's a fucking asshole. I get it. I don't care. I don't care if you think I'm an asshole. If a good amount of fear is good, because if you think it will happen, that there's a chance it could happen, you may think that little voice in the back of your head could be me going, don't fucking do that.
I can go along with that.
And
Absolutely.
like I said, I don't apologize for the way I am because that's who I am.
Yeah.
I want you guys to just understand that, I probably wasn't good friends with my kids until they were out of the house.
That's true.
For sure. You're a dad.
That was my job to be their friend.
For sure.
As a dad, I'm here to be your dad. You'll do what I say, when I say, how I say. That's it. I'm going to discuss it. We're not going to have this moment where we talk and we hug and that's not me. So make sure your kids understand consequences for actions, rewards for what you do right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I like that.
it. That's fair.
You nailed it.
Absolutely.
That's loud.
Dad hack.
That was super loud. That's good. And it's
No,
true,
I like
though.
it.
It's true.
And that honestly, that's genuine.
I don't think that makes
and
you-
I think that's exactly how you parent.
I don't think that makes you an asshole. I think that makes you a good, like you said, a good parent. Because,
Kind of an asshole, but
well,
But it worked.
How many parents have tased their kids?
we didn't even get into that story.
no, you did? You, didn't even,
You know that.
That was the 4th of July.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. That's right. Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
4th of July is a rough time of year for me.
That was one of the roughest nights I've ever seen Ian go through. He was very upset about not being able to light off fireworks. And he passed out underneath the car. And I think that was
It was the first night Bob and Terry were there.
yeah.
That's
that was,
when you guys met.
Yeah.
My in-laws. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ian was, I'm walking home.
Fuck you. I'll kill you.
I'm fucking walking home.
Okay.
Ian's go-to when he's upset. I'm walking home.
Especially around July 4th.
I'm leaving. I'm not talking to nobody.
Around July 4th.
Jeez, I'm just now realizing that.
It's all coming together now. My brother's wedding was on 4th of July that year when he...
Wasn't that year?
Oh, no.
No, that was way before.
No, I'm saying Mike's
Yeah.
was 4th of July.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
But
just
that
realizing...
wasn't the same year as
No, I'm
when I
saying
got tased.
4th of July.
Party.
Yeah.
I'm saying 4th
Yeah,
of July
right,
is a
right.
tough time, and I'm
That's
just
what I'm
realizing
saying,
now
yeah.
that night was 4th of July. Yeah, that's... You gotta lock... I mean, he was okay a couple of weeks ago, though. Although he was...
Well, he was dancing in his underwear.
Yeah, he was. So
I got video of that from my old
He
neighbor.
showed...
Hey, that's a vast improvement based on years
There's a lot,
past.
yeah, that's true. So he shows up at my house the next day. He's dropping off a cooler and some chairs and stuff. And he's telling me these stories. And I'm like, I know. I was literally the person talking to you when that happened. He goes, and then we called my dad. I'm like, I know. I was holding your phone. Like, I mean, he's telling me these stories. I'm like, that was me right next to you the whole time. He's like, I didn't tell him that till later. I'm like, yeah, totally. That's crazy. And then later that night, I'm like, yeah, man, I know. I was there. I was there. I was right next to you. Then I had to bail.
That's by the way, not that story, but what you brought up about how many parents get tased their kids. Might be a dad hack.
I mean, there are times that I really want to tase.
And people don't believe me when I tell them that story. I'm like, yeah, he came to the station. It was like...
Well, you didn't talk to me for like...
It was like 3 days.
3 days.
Well, I said...
Rightfully
you know what?
so.
I'm going to make...
Rightfully so.
He's gonna come by and apologize, or I'm good. I can fucking live without him. I'm okay.
Was that after that party?
Yeah.
So it was that year that...
He was under the truck, and
Yeah.
That was rough.
I wanted to light off the fireworks
I do.
because that's what I always did.
he was so drunk, and I'm like, look, yeah,
So drunk.
take your mom over, go over to Slugas.
Go relax.
We'll
Go
set the
enjoy it.
fireworks out. And he goes, fuck you. I could... I'm like,
I just had this picture in my
okay,
head.
I'm okay. I go, you're too drunk. Okay.
Was that the same year that
was you
the
and
other
Chris.
guy? Remember
No.
there was that one guy that
No,
like
that
got all...
that was probably
I almost
two
fucking
years
killed
later.
that guy.
Well, and I would have hid the body for you.
Yeah.
This guy,
Who was? I mean,
I don't know.
we
Party?
don't know. We don't know.
You know how
He
those
was
parties
at the
were.
party. I'm setting
Yeah.
the fireworks off, and he's got his like 3-year-old kid standing at the fence like 10 feet away. I'm like, back up.
Yeah.
Get your kid away from here because we're setting these things off. And I turn around and he's back. I'm like, dude, I'm not telling you again. Back the fuck up. He comes over and he goes, I'll fucking kill you. And Ian goes, that's my dad. And over the fence he goes. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. And like and he's like, you don't fucking talk to my dad that way. I'll fucking rip your throat out. And I'm like, okay, once you step over that line, you use the "I'll kill you" phrase. That's where you can get arrested. Don't do that. I just told him I beat his ass. And he goes, I'll fucking kill you. And then Al comes up and talks to him, and he goes, hey, dude. He goes, you know, shut the fuck up and back up. He goes, who the fuck are you? And he goes, this is my house. He goes,
So that guy deserved everything was being said.
He was an asshole. Yeah. And that was the last year we did fireworks. Because I go, Al, I'm not doing this again. I said,
well, that's a lot.
Someone's gonna get hurt. And I go,
well, those parties, they just got so big.
You got people coming in.
And you don't even know.
Friends would invite their friends who would invite their friends, and they'd show up, and they'd be like, oh, we're here for the Sluga party. Like, oh. And Al would be like, come on in.
Yeah.
Exactly, because, I mean,
That's
what do you
Al.
know? Yeah.
And it was a great party, but
Yeah.
that was rough.
Yeah, he throws some good parties.
Yeah, no, that year that I walked home, or tried to walk home.
He's walked home so many times.
Yeah,
I could picture. So here's what I was picturing. You're saying how drunk, because we all know how drunk he was that night. Him trying to light fireworks with you, and then just trying to run away, and I just see him falling down, like just,
knocking it over, knocking it into all the other ones.
Like, Ian's so nimble.
Look,
so he's.
And you know what?
Look, I 100% agree that I should not have been lighting fireworks.
I know.
Oh, now you know. But at the time,
I know.
it was completely irrational.
I know.
it wasn't your best night.
No.
That was one of your worst performances.
But I did, though. After like 3 days of him not
talking to you.
No,
talking to me.
I said no. I'm done.
I knew he was working. I went up to the station. I was like, what does it take?
And he said, I'm sorry. And he goes, I'm sorry.
I was fucked
I
up.
won't drink like that again. I said, okay. I said, but remember, if you do, we're done. I will not be spoken to that way by my kids. Mm-hmm. And done. And he goes, never happen again. I said, okay, sit down. Took the taser out, took the charger out.
And the leg.
The leg. And people are like, you did not. I'm like, fuck, I didn't.
That's awesome.
I did.
I knew that, but I completely. Wow.
He took a 5-second ride.
Good for you. Hey.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's you.
Look at that, running an extra ad.
All right, well,
Do it.
you got that?
Got it. Anyhow.
All right. Well, I think we covered our everything.
Yeah, I think so.
We covered our usual. Made some good stories. Some good advice.
I felt like it was a fun storytelling.
This is good insight.
Guys, you guys do a great job on this. You really do.
Thank you.
It's
It's
really
fun.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear your son and dude, you're basically one of my kids. To hear you guys and just listen to your life stories, and it's like, holy shit, guys.
See, we appreciate that.
I really
and
do.
I appreciate that
enjoy it.
we appreciate that you do watch and listen, and to hear that from you obviously it means a lot. And just to hear what you said tonight, obviously, that's awesome, man. And it's cool to have you on here, first of all, a grandfather, father, your father. Like, you know what I mean? This is kind of what we've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah,
because we have
for
a lot
sure.
of new.
I mean,
everything is new for all of us. We're all, except for Tommy McClowski, his kids are 12 and
9
or something like that.
Something like that.
All of our kids are all super young, so we're kind of all just learning, like you said, learning on the fly, just figuring it all out.
That's all you can do.
But we're trying to do it together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, our friends, we're all trying to.
You guys are all having kids at the same time. You guys are all hanging together.
It's pretty cool that we.
It's all.
And that's the thing, is that we realize that.
I literally cannot tell you one person I went to high school with that I could call up right now.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
And you guys have like 5 that are 5 to 10.
Yeah.
They're like close. Yeah.
That you guys know each other's, and that's awesome. That's really, I mean,
it is
I
great.
give you guys a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing that we all grew up together
for sure.
from elementary through now.
Yeah. Well, and then we all had kids.
Even though
at
I
the
call you
same
guys,
time.
you guys are still my kids. You guys have grown into very proud adults.
Well, thank you.
You know, I'm proud of all you guys.
Thank you.
I honest to God am. I mean, I'm literally not blowing smoke up your ass because you know I don't do that.
Yeah, no, I know you don't bullshit.
Not so much.
Well,
All
we
right, cool.
appreciate that. Love you guys.
Thank you very much.
That's what she said.
But in a higher pitched voice, not in such a deep voice.
Well, Dad, thanks for coming on.
Dude,
It's good to have you home.
good job, Nancy.
What? Oh, I'm just sipping.
No
Was I supposed to
finished
chug
ours.
it?
We
No
chugged.
finished ours.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Eagle
There you
Rare. Eagle Rare
That
is my
is
favorite.
really good.
Where did the bottle go?
Super happy with that.
Oh, we finished it.
Have you never really drank it that much? I mean, I know you've had it, but
I've had Eagle Rare, but I don't remember it being that good.
yeah, it's really
really
good.
That was really good.
We just had
Nice vanilla.
Yeah.
there are hints of vanilla in there.
Don't go with your fucking drippy thing again. I swear to God, I'll poke your eye out.
Ian, say it. I want him to poke your eye out. Not mine, his. I'm done. I didn't say it. What did we have the other day that was so? Oh, we'll talk
Bib and
about it
Tucker.
afterwards. Bib and Tucker.
Bib and Tucker. It's very similar. It's not quite as refined, but
No, this
is really,
It's really
good.
good.
I'll be buying some of that.
It's kind of hard to
You
find.
just shove in your bag.
Well, I'm taking one of the Colonel Taylor songs.
Oh, they're so
He's
good.
such a good kid.
He is.
But Mom's gonna bring you out a couple bottles of Cape Creek. So when you guys do a review,
Okay. I would like to do a Cave Creek review.
I would
That's,
do-
I really like that.
it
Do you
is
drink
good.
it at all? at
I
home?
do.
Yeah.
I do.
So,
I'm
so
pumped.
really regional or local in Phoenix, and it's really good.
Yeah, it's
Well,
Alright.
you drank a lot of it, actually. We did Blaze Bike, guys. We drank 2 bottles of it.
yeah.
Wow.
That's why he doesn't have in
Wow.
here.
Because I had a bunch.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much all gone now.
Bourbon review. Can't wait.
Yeah, we should
Do it.
All right, Dad,
Next time.
thanks so
Thank you.
much. Gave some good insights, pretty much what I expected, so appreciate that.
A little more tame than I thought it was going to be.
Not too much. You had well,
I know you did. I know.
because Ian said, he goes, yeah, we can't go
Yeah. It was funny because leading up to tonight, it was funny. I was like texting Ian. He's like, I'm kind of nervous. I'll be fine. I'm like, this is not live. We're okay. We could edit things like the one thing earlier.
Yeah, definitely editing that.
I'm good.
Good.
Everything's awesome. Thank you.
So that's what, episode 16?
Yes.
Sweet.
So
Thanks, Pops. Episode 16 is done.
in the books.
Make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube,
All your podcasts.
podcast, Apple,
Your favorite
Google,
podcasts.
Spotify.
Subscribe
We're
to
on
everything.
there. Let us know
Oh.
what you think.
One last thing.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my
Oh, yeah.
my
shout outs.
my broadcasters in Arizona,
Okay.
Bob Brenly and Steve Berthium. They have been phenomenal with us, and they're the Fox Arizona sports announcers for the Diamondbacks that we work for, and we take the dog up there to see them,
Diamondbacks.
and they're super great people and always accommodating to veterans, police,
Gotta love that.
anyone, and they're super announcers. So
That's awesome.
shout out to them.
We see if you should see if you can tag them.
And
Yeah, we
Luis
will.
Gonzalez, man.
Okay.
He has a foundation, Hometown Heroes in Arizona, and they donate to veterans, law enforcement, first responders, and take care of anybody in need in those communities.
That's cool.
And it's a really good benefit.
I love that.
Awesome.
You know, Dad told me today that next year Arizona plays the AL Central
Yeah,
for
we're playing
their
Cleveland.
interleague games.
Oh yeah.
Come on out.
We should figure out a way to get out there when the tribe goes out there.
I'd love that.
Be pretty amazing.
Talking dad stuff.
Yeah.
Bourbon
Absolutely.
review out there
I
on
know,
your
I know a
home
guy,
turf. Sure, you know a lot
We'll
of
go
guys.
talk to those guys up in the booth.
and I'll tell you what.
Oh, hey, you know what?
They're
We'll talk about this off when we're done. All right, hey, so thank you, and that was a
Anyway,
good
yeah.
plug, by the way. That's good.
Yeah.
and we'll see if we could tag those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
get some more people to start watching this shit, especially
what?
you, because if you're on here, they're gonna love it. Maybe.
Sure, why not?
All right, that's episode 16. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey guys, if you like what you just heard or watched, please don't be shy. Give us a like, subscribe, follow us on our social media pages, and drop us some comments, literally, about anything. Your support means the world to us and legit keeps us going. And most of all, thank you for all of your support.